All right. There we go. We're live. All right. Let me screw around in my options quickly while we wait for people to trickle in. Yeah, everything seems to be okay. Oh. All right, we got some viewers starting to trickle in here. I assume also there's a lot of people who are just wanting to play the campaign for themselves. Which, hey, I don't blame you. Halo Infinite is finally here. How are you guys doing, by the way? Sound off in the comments. Or I guess in the chat, right? Yeah. All right. I did screw around a little bit on heroic difficulty, but we're going to play on easy. So Swift Tech 360, hey man, how are you doing? Says, do you think the Halo AR is too OP? That is an excellent question, and if I were to answer it, people would probably be upset. But the answer is kind of yes. But, okay. So it's for a couple more folks to get in here before we start the stream. How are you guys doing, by the way? Has anyone else had trouble downloading it? Wheezy Max says, hello, brother. Jose says hello. All right, we got some folks starting to come in here. How are you guys doing? Share your nightmare stories of getting the campaign downloaded, because that seems to be a problem people are running into. We got Kegler the Man who says sup. We got Small Wolf. All right, you all are getting in here. Axel Animations. It is a pleasure as always to see you, friend. I would love to watch, but I am currently playing it myself. Yeah, there we go. That seems to be what a lot of people are doing. So some of you who are here, I do appreciate it. Steven says, the game destroyed my RX 580 when I got to the open world. Yeah, the frame rate tanks once you get into like the outdoor environments. I assume that's probably because of the long draw distance, as well as like all the like various AI entities at play. But Zetzley says I need to pre-order even though I have Game Pass. So what I would do if I were you is I would, if you're on console, reset your console, okay? For some reason, the game treats the campaign as if it is like a map pack. So if you download that, or if you just go ahead, reset your console, everything should be okay, all right? Here, why don't we start the campaign? What do you guys think? We'll do that. We got 21 concurrent viewers in here. How are you guys doing, by the way? How was your evening? Oh my gosh, it's at 49 already. Players are loading. Yeah, the campaign is super cool. This is probably the 400th time I've replayed this first mission, but somebody's got to do it, right? Oh, the opening cutscene. Quick, can I pause? Shit, I can't pause. I am also not hearing any... That is super weird. I'm not hearing any voice audio. Are you guys hearing voice? That's super weird. It's completely silent. Benjamin Golding says, only discovered your channel a month ago, but I love your videos. Okay, there is no audio then. I'm not crazy. That's weird. Here. I skipped to the cutscene. Okay, I'm hearing audio now. That is weird. Okay. I'm going to reset the campaign, okay? That was bizarre. I thought my audio equipment was glitching out. No sounds, no audio. Okay. Okay, I'm not crazy then. Here. I had some weird audio settings. Like, look, see, you can see all these, like, various little whatevers. Maybe if I just set everything to, like, recommended. Okay. All right. You guys want to try this again? We'll see if we can get it working. Here we go. Fingers crossed there's going to be no audio issues. Oh! We should probably establish rules. No talking during cutscenes? What do you guys think? No talking during cutscenes, or should we have talking during cutscenes but with subtitles? Geez, I played the first 2 missions and I love the game so much. Yeah, the opening is very strong. Okay, the game just crashed. Are you joking? Come on, Halo Infinite. Don't do this to me, honey. Don't do this to me, baby. Some people are saying talking, some people are saying no. What if I talk periodically? Like during cool action stuff. But then when people are talking, we can go silent. What do you think? Yeah. That's, we're not off to a good start that we've already had to, reboot the campaign. Because it crashed. That's actually my first crash. Even during the previews, I haven't had it crash, so... yikes. Here, difficulty. We're gonna play on easy. You know what? Why don't we play on normal? Everything's a little bit more exciting on normal. What if you used sign language, says Nick Pick. That's a great idea. The problem is I don't have a good webcam with me. Also, I don't know how to say, speak in sign language. Speak in sign language, use sign language. What's the correct terminology there? Someone made an oopsie memory leak, says Brick the World. There we go, I can hear the audio just fine now. The Infinity's getting messed up. Look at the banished phantoms.
Would you humor me?
It's Craig. He's infiltrated the Infinity. Also, Chief's looking pretty snazzy in his armor. It seems to be actually the armor from last year, because look how shiny it is. Oh, man. Atriox is salty that not enough of us played Halo Wars 2. I love this part right here. It's actually like pretty cool because you see kind of like the strength of a brute, especially one like Atriox, where like he just grabs Chief. He's like, "Come here." Look at him. Chief weighs like, what, 800 pounds?
My name is Atriox.
Yeah.
And I am the last face you will ever see.
An interesting note about Atriox in this game, he's actually voiced by the guy who did Agent Locke in Halo 5. That's Agent Locke's voice actor. Which is, you know, kind of interesting. Angelo says, would you recommend playing the campaign Legendary first? Halo vet myself, not the best player by any means. God, no. This campaign is not, it's not forgiving if you play it on Legendary, which is kind of surprising. I would recommend playing it on, honestly, normal. Unless you want to sweat a tad, then maybe heroic will be okay, but this campaign's, like, unusually difficult. It also doesn't help that some of the bosses in this game, I think, are just a tad overtuned. So there's bizarre difficulty spikes here and there in the campaign, and I feel like because the campaign doesn't let you select levels and change your difficulty, you'll be stuck on whatever difficulty you select. Pilot's seen better days, clearly. It's crazy that this is in engine. Like all of this here? Whoa, the frame rate is tanking. Whoa. Do you guys see that? Is the stream picking it up? Okay, it's stabilized. That was weird. I think Digital Foundry encountered that issue too.
Can you sing? Good singing. How about I miss you?
I miss you.
And I love you.
I love you, Daddy.
And good. And can you say I can't wait to see you again?
I can't wait to see you again.
Okay, now say bye-bye.
I gotta say, the pilot's teeth are pretty good looking for someone who was lost in space for 6 months. He couldn't shave, but he was able to brush his teeth. He also couldn't clean his face by the looks of it. Oh, that's cool. The tear stain on his face, it actually, like, it's not just like a flat texture. It actually rolled down his face. I could see it. That was kind of cool.
This is UNSC Pelican Echo 216. Can you hear me? This is UNSC.
Something that the campaign also lets you do that I think is really cool is, do you see the way the camera's kind of going bananas here? I'm actually doing this. During the cutscenes, you can kind of wiggle the camera around. What has he been eating? Maybe he's been eating the same toothpaste that he's been used. Maybe that's why his teeth are just so clean. He's had nothing to consume but toothpaste for the last 6 months.
Looks like the main power cells are fried. Armor shut down. Triggering survival mode.
Chief's got armor lock.
I'm going to try to overwrite.
It's like,
Okay. If you can hear me in there.
it's like, check it out.
Hope you're
I found the
ready.
guy from Fortnite floating in
Please don't
space.
die. Please. Don't die.
There we go. Coming back online.
Yes! Yes!
This is a cool little bit of detail, actually, that I like. If you look at his feet, he actually kicks the wire and it, like, moves. Look,
Welcome back,
I just
Chief.
like that. I don't know. It's like those small
Have you routed what
details.
little power I had into your suit? I'm seeing a fault on the calibration matrix. At least I think it's a calibration matrix. Okay, follow the
The
light.
Keanu Reeves movie? The Matrix?
Look up.
Okay. Master Chief, I need you to
Now let's
follow
look
the
down.
green lights.
That seems fine.
Look at this. This is a fun little Easter egg. I don't know
Let's
if it's
try
an
right.
Easter egg or if it's just an attention to detail, but right here, if you
Now
just
left.
don't do anything, the pilot actually starts getting, like, impatient. So, look, he glances at his pad now, a little bit nervously. See? Moving the shoulders. We're gonna look at the pad. Chief's not moving. Hey, buddy. Look at that thing. Come on. It's right there. Yeah, okay,
Your
we'll do
visor
it.
feed and motor function seem
It's
to be
just fun little
operational,
details like that.
But it looks like there's a problem with the servos in your hands.
Maybe
Try
in the
moving it.
year 2050,
Stay
there are
calm.
some kind of good teeth
been out there
cleaning
a while.
device using only electricity or something. Like being able to just zap all of the bacteria off your teeth.
Check the diagnostics on your arm.
Well, surely there's like some bacteria that you do want in your mouth, right? Kind of like how there's good bacteria and bad bacteria.
Whoa, easy Easy there, big guy. You're not.
Status report.
Status report? What? There's something you need to see, Chief.
Master Chief's about to look at the state of the Halo subreddit. He's like, status report. There's something you need to see, Chief. He's gonna see all the forum posts about the battle pass.
We lost. Lost everything.
His eyes are so
There's
twitchy.
nothing left for us here. I don't even know where here is. No, 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 no. Not then. Not again. We need to run.
I need a weapon.
Weapon. This is all I've got.
It's enough.
Yeah. Chief's gonna kick butt.
What are you gonna do?
Improvise.
Yeah.
Close the door.
Chief's cool. So I actually, since I already ran through this mission, I've actually gotten some of the collectibles. I'll show you guys where they are, though. Mainly the skull. Exactly 117 viewers. Nice. Mythical Spartan says, hello, late night. Hello, Mythical Spartan.
Oh, the main batteries are shut down. We're stuck out here.
Toothbrush is a weapon, says Nickpick. Yeah, what if he just handed Master Chief the electric toothbrush that he's been using?
Against an entire army. What can you do on your own?
I told you. It's enough.
I do like that detail there, that the pilot, he's been floating in space for the last 6 months, right? Literally all he had to keep himself company was a video of his family and a pistol with one bullet in it.
You work on the battery.
What do you think must have been going through his head during those 6 months? Suicide or his family? And it's also fun that the story doesn't like draw attention to that fact. It just leaves it like understated, you know? Yeah, Mr. Joester. He's inside the banished ship. So, all right.
Now what?
Hello, friends. Oh yeah, I also that view model that I got for the assault rifle. I spent quite a bit of time tweaking to see if I could get it to kind of look like the Reach assault rifle, the way that your Spartan holds it in Halo Reach. I haven't quite got the pistol yet, but I'm really happy with the way the rifle turned out. So, yeah, let's look around. Look at these guys. Look at just like the detail on their armor and stuff. Like that's really good texture quality, right?
Eliminate. Chief.
Okay, maybe that was a little bit violent, but hey buddies, how are you doing? Okay, let's run up this way. We gotta get out of here. Okay, we gotta go up to there, to the control deck. Should be a no-brainer. I've played a Halo game before. Here, we're gonna take this with us. Watch this. Yeah! Wakey wakey! It's Halo Day! You see that little grunt? He's like, Green Man is here. Alright. Yeah, we can take a Banished Mangler or two. What are the Banished actually up to over here? Oh, they're like observing the ring. Okay. They're just kind of hanging out. Mythical Spartan says, was that a JoJo reference? That absolutely was, my friend. That's Craig, by the way. He's like,
I saw the memes you made about me last year.
was a valiant effort. Craig tried. Oh, that's the king of the Craigs.
That hologram. It's Atriox. He led the attack on the Infinity. He was looking for something.
He's the protagonist of Halo Wars 2. And Chief's like, I never played it.
We met.
That does kind of suck that people didn't play Halo Wars 2 that much. It was a solid RTS. I guess it just, in hindsight, I'm more of a StarCraft kind of RTS player. So the fact that Halo Wars, its formula is so kind of like locked down. You have like those plots of land where you can put your bases and stuff. I'm like, I wish it was a little bit more opened up.
Your eyes deceive you, brother. He's aboard the Gabrak at this very moment. Go! Time for blood.
Come here. I need one of these. So it's not used quite a lot in the multiplayer. I assume just because like the multiplayer is super early, you know. But it's really handy, this grappling hook here, to pull weapons towards you in the campaign. I'm getting like Star Wars Episode 1 vibes from this, you know? So also, like a cool little storytelling detail is the way that the Banished work. They don't actually like construct their facilities on the surface of a planet. They actually drop them from orbit. So all of those things that you see there, they're basically buildings that once they land on the ground, they will nail themselves into the surface and then just start kind of like automatically constructing themselves. So basically, this is just a gigantic factory that's producing a Banished invasion force. Yeah, let's run this way. King Craig.
Dropships. An invasion force. How do we stand a chance against
How
all
big
these?
is this ship's as
The
bonus?
Banished won
It's
already.
it's pretty
We
big.
could be the only two humans
Pretty
left
big,
alive out
you know?
here.
Then there's still hope.
It's at least bigger than my house. Alright. So right there is a data pad. If you haven't collected it, grab it. Oh look, we got grenades. So grenades are now part of the combat loop. You know, just standard first level stuff, teaching the player the basics. Also, look at this. This is kind of cool. Look. You can turn on and off the I was about to call them the Covenant shields, the Banished shields. Alright, let's go. Ooh. How are we gonna do this? You know what? I'm just gonna chuck a cheeky grenade right there. That guy took that explosion like a champ. Did you see that? And the grunts are, of course, panicking. Gonna run this way, grab this pistol. You know, don't, like, I know that the sidekick is not the Halo Magnum, but, like, don't sleep on it. This thing's pretty dope. Just wondering if there's anything of interest in here. Also, check this out. So the Banished, they're not like the Covenant. The Banished kind of don't care if they use human weapons, where the Covenant are kind of like crazy about that. They think it's like heresy. So it's actually cool seeing like the Banished kind of like examining UNSC technology, trying to figure out how they can integrate it into their own. Like, look, they're stockpiling UNSC tech and stuff, trying to figure out if they can use it in their war machine. Brute spike grenades back from Halo 3. Yeah, wow. Halo 3 ODST. That was the last time we saw the spike grenades. Whew. You hear the Craigs? They're like really upset about us being up here. Oh boy. I've made a mistake. Oh boy. There are explosions all over the place. This game does have like a combat evolved type of energy to its explosions. That is something that I like because there are fusion coils just everywhere. There's a lot of stuff exploding at any given time. Also, for those of you who want a skull, so you enter this room, the room with 2 stories, right? Come over here, scan. It's like up there, I think, where the skull is, or up there. If you scan, you'll be able to see it through the wall, okay? But don't miss it, okay? Here, let's go this way. Here, we're gonna take this turret with us. It is kind of weird that the Banished are using a Halo 5 plasma turret. That is kind of weird. I'm disappointed that it's not like a Banished version of the plasma turret. It's King Craig. He's still here. I think that's Seth Rogen from the new Super Mario Brothers movie. I wonder where the Banished keep their chairs, says Bonus. Yeah! Did the Banished, like, sit? Ever? Or do they just stand?
Matriarchs, hear these words. Even from beyond this life, your will is served.
I think that's Seth Rogen.
Your forces occupy the ring. Within hours, it will be under our control.
When's the giant angry monkey gonna start talking about smoking weed?
Cower before your legacy. They will burn. Their praise and defiance will be all.
So, jokes aside, something that I actually do think is kind of cool, one of the writers actually told me that kind of like the inspiration for Escherum's vocal cadence and his kind of performance was like televangelists. Like he wanted Escherum to have this kind of like just ridiculously like toxically charismatic performance. Like just like he can say literally anything and it'll radicalize people around him to do just like unthinkable things. Oh boy. Ooh, okay. We are, I think there's a red brood up there. I don't know what the rank is officially. Is it Ultra? I thought the Ultras are white, but... Oh, man. Hey, buddy, chill with that gun, okay? Here, we need that. There we go. Thank you. Okay, we're taking this with us. So something cool also about the campaign is all weapons you can like refill at these ammo caches. So this thing's a plasma weapon, right? Well, we can refill its ammo here at that plasma cache. It's all right.
It's locked down. Requires a hack.
Okay. And you can do that?
No. New plan. Scuttle the ship.
You are going to
The
destroy
Banished
this ship
sit for no one.
with us in it?
Yeah, it is weird though, right? There's just no chairs anywhere. Do the brutes ever sit down? Somebody mentioned that they sit in Halo 3. Like you can see them sometimes like crouching down and stuff. But surely, like the grunts. Well, no, actually, I take that back. The grunts kind of like lay down wherever they are. But like the jackals. Do brutes sit in chairs? What does a monkey chair look like? Oh man, okay, we're I get it. Here, we're taking this with us.
Did it work?
Have some candy.
Nothing seemed to happen.
I'm not done yet.
Look at that brute.
Well, hurry.
I think he went up there.
Brutes. The little things. All waiting. Don't let them get me, please.
took care of those guys. I think it's time to leave.
Okay. Fire up those engines, Chief.
Oh, look at that little guy. Did you see the grunt? He had legs on him. He was able to jump quite high. Alright. Alright, let's get out of here. Phil Swift says, wishful thinking, but I wish they brought back some of Halo 4's tracks because some of them are phenomenal, especially 117 and Arrival. 117, I think, could be returned. Arrival, I think, is kind of like throwaway. It sounds kind of like discount like Hollywood Transformers stuff, if that makes sense. At least to me.
We thought you dead.
117 is okay, though.
Tossed into the void. Yet here you stand. Humans call you their savior. Covenant. Demon. The banished. Prey.
Axel Animation says this would make an awesome PvP map, and I agree.
It matters not.
This actually isn't like a bad idea. Could you imagine a banished midship?
Down. Pursue you wherever you run.
Oh, somebody pointed out that the brutes do sit down when they're in choppers. But like, surely they can't bring an entire vehicle into their banished bases whenever they want to sit, right?
He knows all about you.
Born Stellar says can't stay, but have a great stream, guys.
I don't know how long this ship
Thank
will
you so
hold
much
together.
for the money, Born Stellar. I hope you enjoy the game, my friend. This is one of the best tracks in the game, by the way, that's playing right now. Here, we're actually gonna run over here and refill our kinetic ammo. We gotta get out of here, guys. It's like Halo Combat Evolved all over again. Only this time we boarded an alien ship. Whoa! Lots of physics objects in the environment, which I'm happy about. Excuse me, buddies. Maybe the Craigs are running over there to escape. I think the Craigs have the right idea. It's I mean, unfortunately, they got gunned down by me, but... Whoa. That's what those were full of. It's full of, like, plasma. Remember, we were in this room earlier. I guess we are going to jump. Oof. Woohoo! Oof. Okay.
You think this disruption will be enough?
Yes?
Victory
I was
is
hoping.
already ours. So, run, Spartan. We will meet on the battlefield.
Chantel Picard says, love your content, by the way. Thank you so much. That does mean a lot to hear, by the way. And I got some fun stuff in the works for you guys. Yeah, look at this. It's all coming down.
Where are you? The Pelicans surrounded. They're... Oh God, they're trying to get in.
On my way.
Let's run through here. Whoa. Yeah, look, see, when you come into these places, you can see that these are kind of like early banished buildings, and they're just supposed to airdrop them onto the ring and then build out from there. Oh. Oh, boy. Okay, we're sliding. Okay. All right.
What was that? He felt bad. Even the banished seemed great.
We gotta get out of here.
We're running out of time.
The batteries.
Charging slowly. I don't know. It's gonna be close.
Oh, boy.
Too close.
Oh, boy. Structural integrity of 14%. This ship's about to go down. Whoa! Okay.
Okay, so 90 seconds to your full charge. I hope this place holds together that long. Charge faster!
Let's go, let's go! The siren sound is haunting, I like it. Yeah, it's the audio design in general is actually quite good. Mysterious Vagabond says, what did I miss? To be honest, not much. The game really just started. Master Chief did what he did best. He was woken up from cryosleep and started punching some aliens. From what we do understand, though, Atriox seems to be dead, or at least the Banished have good reason to think that he's dead. And the Banished are, well, not very happy about that, and they're maybe blaming the Master Chief for it? There it is. The giant circle. Why do you guys think the game's called Halo? Think it has to do with Beyonce?
Chief, you still with me?
I'm here.
Okay, give me a second.
Ham says analyzing the environment in the background makes this stream stand out. It's good. I'm glad you think so, Ham. There's a lot of detail in this game that I think is going to go kind of like overlooked because the frenetic action of the gameplay, but oh, we're about to enter actually one of my favorite cutscenes in the game. They do the Halo 2 thing in this campaign where they will kind of frequently pop over to the enemy side and you'll kind of see what's going on with the Banished, what they're up to. And it's always a good time. Mysterious Vagabond says, do you think this Halo game is going to have another open-ended ending? I won't say anything. I'll purposefully keep some stuff to myself because I don't, you know, unless you guys are super interested.
7,150. Not found.
Near field perimeter scan.
Ruther says, because Halo reminds me of Killzone. Oh my god. That's not a comparison I want Halo to have.
The Master Chief lives? Atriox assured us of his death. Are you not angered? No. I feel invigorated. You promised
There were bananas on that ship! They're making memes of us! They called me Craig!
My leadership. Atriox's vision. Atriox is dead. It is his fault that we are stuck here. The Banished will never bow to anyone again.
He's like,
Call me Craig one more time!
Not the Covenant. Not the Prophets. Not her.
the Blade Master is pretty cool.
This ring will be operational. Please. Then you will have your revenge.
Goodbye, Tremonius.
Blade Master.
He kind of looks a bit like a Mr. Potato Head with a beard, right?
Spartan from a distance.
Not Esherim. I mean, he's beautiful,
Everything
you know?
about him.
I'm talking about Tremonius. Are the Banished Halo Wars 2? They are. They were actually introduced in Halo Wars 2.
Read.
Attempting decryption. Decryption failed.
Locate message source.
Triangulation in progress. Triangulation in progress.
We're done, right, Chief? If we stay out here any longer, they're gonna come back. They'll find us, and they'll kill us.
Natsy says the campaign is pretty cool, but it does not indeed clarify what the Arbiter is doing. I don't think it needs to, you know?
You're looking in the wrong direction. We need to go home.
Like, it would probably be more jarring if suddenly the campaign stopped dead in its tracks to be like, oh, by the way, Arbiter is over here doing this. Resume the story.
Are you kidding me? Why would we go down there?
The Banished plan to wipe us out. All of us.
Craig, he needs to be stopped. He's out of control.
Stop them on our own?
What did the pilot think that would achieve? He's like standing in front of a giant robot, and he's like, I'm very upset. I'm gonna punch it.
We need help, not heroics.
No, we do our duty. Protect humanity, whatever the cost.
I can't be the only.
Entering atmosphere. Autopilot disengaging in 5.
We have a new mission, soldier.
4.
What is it? What's down there?
3.
A weapon.
A weapon?
1.
How many guns do you need? What is wrong with you? Remind me to never pick up his
Mysterious
spots.
Vagabond says, do you think Escharum seems more like some sort of dictator than a proper leader? He's not really a dictator. He was described by one of my buddies as being almost more of like a televangelist type, where the idea is he's kind of got that like grand plan, Atriox's vision, you know, and I can hear him calling from beyond the stuff. Like, he's got that kind of like energy, charismatic energy to him. So he's more almost like a cult leader, you could say.
Lots of Banished craft heading your way.
Oh boy. You know, I'm just gonna say it. I don't think I've ever liked the look of the Banished Phantom. I remember in Halo Wars 2 thinking all of the vehicles absolutely killed it, especially the Lich. It looks awesome. But the Phantom, that's the one vehicle in Halo Wars 2 that I thought really did not embody the spirit of a Halo Phantom that well. Like, I feel like that design should have gotten another pass, you know? So I am a bit disappointed to see it, like, translated very faithfully into this game.
Must be worth it.
Which, I get that the Banished, they're kind of a little bit more angular, a little bit more blocky, but I feel like the Phantom is such a bizarre-looking ship
How is that possible?
that a couple of liberties could have been taken with the Banished version, at least. Damn! Craig won that battle of fist fights, of fisticuffs, you know? Patrick Hyde says, love you in the channel. Thank you so much, Patrick. I appreciate that. I also saw you asking if I missed any of your questions, and I did, actually. So I am sorry. Here, we're going to switch things up. We're going to use the Needler for a little bit. What do you guys think?
Like it's clinging to life somehow. How is that possible?
Each ring is different. I see an entry point in the wall ahead.
Get in there. Find this weapon. Then we can go. Right?
Boom. Yeah. Look at this view. Yeah, because we're so near the fracture point of the ring that it's kind of like we're seeing some of the more unstable parts of it. And it's actually cool because artistically you can see a separation between the more, you could say, complete parts of the ring and the ones that are still kind of being repaired. So any part of the ring that is currently under construction is just covered in these weird, like, hexagons, where the stuff that's a little bit more complete looks, you know, a little bit more traditional Forerunner. Here, we're going to turn on our flashlight.
Look at this place. It's beautiful.
That it is.
Broken. Very, very broken. I need to move. There are Banished ships everywhere.
We're going to run this way. Where are you guys going? Oh, I thought that was a frag grenade I had equipped. I was expecting it to slide under that Jackal's legs. Also, what do you guys think of the new Hardlight graphical effect? They kind of got rid of that weird Promethean-y digital look, and they've replaced it with more of like the best way to describe it is it almost looks like a nebula, you know, or like a cosmic cloud of gases. I actually really like the new look of Hardlight. Here, let's grab the Pulse Carbine. We'll goof off with this for a bit. He just yelled at me, "Are you afraid?" as I was throwing that thing at him. I noticed a huge drop in frames when getting to the open world. Have you experienced something similar? Yeah, man. Optimization. This game needs a little bit of optimization work. Because once you're in the open world, it's like the game just completely loses its mind. Which I assume is probably due to just all the AI entities that are running around at any given moment. We're going to take this with us. As well as some, Alright, we're good. Let's run up this way.
If you knew how you were going to die, how you were going to die. If you knew how you were going to die.
Digital look is still there, it's just more subdued. Yeah, it's still got a little bit of that kind of like fractured look, I guess is the best way to describe it. But the Hardlight in general, it's kind of, I'm glad that they've moved away from that Promethean-y look, because I feel like that's not really what Forerunner Hardlight ever looked like. And as far as, like, if we're going to talk about, like, kind of lore, it doesn't make sense that the Forerunner stuff has that digital look, because that's supposed to be, like, exclusive to Promethean Knights when you kill them. That's supposed to be like streams of data being released when you kill them. So it doesn't make a lot of sense that their weapons do that to people. I know the real answer is they're just reusing particle effects, but... What do you guys think of the Forerunner aesthetic in this game? I think it's pretty on point. Also, do you see that? Something cool, a detail that I noticed is... The elites, when they're just chilling and hanging out, they actually have their shields down, and upon noticing the player, they will charge up their shields. So if you ever see elites kind of running around in the wild, like in the forest, and they haven't seen you yet, you can get a headshot on them, easily. It's just once they notice you, they power up their shields. Oh boy, okay, we're going for cover. Oh! Goodbye. What did that elite think he was up to? No. Here we go. Room clear. We're gonna take one of these with us. Forerunner stuff's just pretty, you know?
What are those things? This is Forerunner, right? I've heard the stories, but man, this is crazier than I imagined.
This is pretty cool, right?
Dumb question. How do you know this isn't a trap?
I don't.
Listen to that music,
Great.
too.
I hope this weapon of yours is worth the risk. I'm reading multiple enemy ships heading this way. Too many.
It's a control room. So look, that must have been a replay of what happened to the ring. Alright, and we've all seen this cutscene.
It's been 6 months. Where have you been?
What happened? Where is Cortana?
What's the difficulty, by the way?
The
We are
robot
playing
AI
this
known
on
as
normal.
Cortana is gone. She's been deleted.
And are the Prometheans
How?
back?
You?
So,
Of
I guess
course
it's not really spoilers,
Did you hit your
since
head
we're
or
talking about
something?
gameplay stuff. There are no
Don't you remember?
Prometheans in
My
this campaign,
instructions were to enter
which
this
I'm
installation,
happy about.
Imitate Cortana and
but-
lock her down for retrieval. Yours were to take her back to the Infinity for deletion. So if it wasn't you,
The Kigyar voices are particularly jarring in this
Okay,
one. It's
then.
the Psychonaut. I don't don't know if I
There's
agree.
something else.
I actually think
Unsuccessful deployment.
I think
my deletion
343 has
routine was
mostly
supposed to
nailed the
complete.
sound of a jackal speaking English.
Still here.
I do still prefer jackals speaking well,
Good.
what do you call it?
My programming
Jackalese,
failed. I'm
whatever
not
their
supposed to
natural
be here.
language is.
You need to
But
delete-
No.
No.
No. I
Master
was
Chief,
created for one purpose, and that purpose is no longer needed.
Master Chief said
My
that like a
mission is
pouty
over.
kid.
I don't
We have a
wanna.
new one. The Banished are planning to fire this ring. We need to make sure they don't.
First of all, what's a banished?
I feel like the Forerunner look has
Second,
too much
you may have
depth,
noticed
unlike
that
the
a
other Halo
significant piece
games.
of this installation
Like
has been
this?
damaged, making that impossible.
Like too much depth?
And
I'm curious
third,
about
to
what
fire
you
this
mean by
ring,
that.
They would need an activation index. Cortana had the index. I had parts of it as well.
I thought
Something
the
stopped
Forerunner
activation.
environments in this game are
to find
probably
out
peak
why.
Forerunner look.
But this wasn't the mission.
The mission's
Bonus
changed.
says, I think the
They
enemies
always
talk
do.
a little bit too much,
Are you
minus the
sure?
grunts, of course. Huh. I never found that to be the case. Like, they definitely are more chattery than, like, the Covenant from, like, Halo Combat Evolved or something, but I think that's mostly just due to them just having more lines in general, you know?
Did you do that?
No, removing me triggered a response from the ring.
Nazi says they put Mamster Chief in a Pop Tart. Yeah, they did do that. I saw him at my local Giant.
If you knew how you were going to die,
They took the Green Man and they stuffed him into a Pop
how
Tart.
would you live your life differently?
How would you live your life differently?
That voice. It's Cortana's.
No, it's not her. Just dust and echoes.
What did you say?
What?
Do you
It's
have
just
any
pieces of
idea
data
when the new
cycling
modes and
until they
maps
run
are
out of
coming to
power.
multiplayer by any chance? No, I wish I
all
did.
around us.
And it's got to happen soon, you know? The beta, quote unquote, is over. So Halo Infinite officially launched with the least amount of game modes from any Halo game, including, I guess, Combat Evolved.
I understand that and have made peace with it. Mostly.
And it launched also with the least amount of playlists of any multiplayer-focused Halo game.
He is perfectly suited for what is coming.
Here, let's run this way.
He has been assigned a number. 117.
Pretty spooky.
There's something up ahead. I can feel it calling out to me.
Also, look at this. So if you ever go to these Forerunner windows, just turn on your light and look at all the micro detail. Look at all that. You can see like little imperfections, little flecks of dust and dirt. Just the artist killed it. It's a shame that the temporal anti-aliasing that the game does just completely smears the image whenever it's in motion. Because there's a lot of detail in this game. I thought I just heard that jackal say damn it.
These are the banished.
Affirmative.
They smell even worse than I imagined.
You can smell them.
Well, an array of sensors in your armor can, and I analyze the input. You smell fine, by the way.
I am deliberately not going to take this stalker rifle because every single person on planet Earth always takes that stalker rifle, and it drives me crazy that that's always the weapon Chief is using in the cutscene
Over
that's
there.
coming up.
That's the source.
You know what? Master Chief's just going to have a plasma pistol
Yes, it is.
for this upcoming
Maybe
cutscene.
there's a way to power it back up nearby. Maybe even another Cortana model. You know that. Right.
Here, watch this. He's going to be holding a plasma pistol. That goober.
Is it safe?
I think so. Yes.
Radio Radish says, do you know if the Cortana voice actress
It's
is
safe.
the same as the weapons? Yeah, so Jen Taylor is her name. She voices the weapon, Cortana, and Dr. Catherine Halsey. She voices 3 different characters in the Halo series. Like, Jen Taylor is pretty talented as a voice actress.
It is me. It was the last part I remember being deleted. Let me just...
What about color variety in Forerunners? Any green and purples? I'm trying to remember. I do know that there is color variety.
Because you were chosen.
I mean, we're already seeing some of,
Our
like, the
enemies are
bronzes and the
getting smarter,
golds from
more
Halo
numerous
3
every day.
being woven in.
What I am about to show
The
you
hard
will
light,
help
of
turn
course,
the
is very
tide
kind of
war.
nebula-like.
I have been working to harness the strategic power of a shipborne AI onto the battlefield.
Sam
Are you ready?
Boyce says,
Yes,
I say we start
Dr.
a petition
Halsey.
to make Master Chief insanely thick. Yeah, I got no complaints.
Unlike previous AI models, she will reside between your mind and the suit, directly communicating with your neural interface. Think of her as a new set of eyes to aid your reactions and upgrade your reconnaissance.
Yeah, I knew she voiced Dr. Halsey. I just wanted to make sure.
She's not the driver.
Yeah, Jen Taylor,
but a
she
way
is
to
she is a
level the playing
workhorse when it comes to like her vocal
What do I
range.
call her?
Ask her. She named herself.
Hello, Master Chief. I'm Cortana.
Like right here, Master Chief is having a conversation
become
with
our newfound
one
hope.
voice actress who is
Together,
playing 2
you
different
become our
people, and I
key to
completely buy
humanity's
it.
survival.
Like this cutscene alone
do
is one of those
anything
things where you don't really
necessary
think
to
about
make
it until
sure
someone
that your
points it
mission
out,
is
but
accomplished.
you've got
Even if that means
Cortana saying
sacrificing
things
herself
and Halsey just babbling
you
incoherently,
To accomplish
and I
it.
believe them as 2 different people. I don't even notice that it's the same voice actress.
What happened?
Look, and now we've got a 3rd
Exhausted
voice.
and-
It's the same woman who
real?
just did 3 different people all in
It's
one
just data.
cutscene.
It's
Jen Taylor's talented, man.
It's just here. Clusters of recursive code. But this, on the other hand,
Matthew H
This is
says,
the
now let's see if
framework I
Mendicant
used to
Bias
trap
makes an
Cortana.
appearance. Nah,
contains a copy
Mendicant
of the
Bias's
activation
story has been
index,
done
at
for
least fragments of
ages.
it.
Like, he's done. He's resting in peace,
what
you
should
know?
we do with it?
His story kind of concluded with Halo
Well,
3, where he
based
made
on what you've
amends
told
for
me
the
so
sins
far,
of his
the bigger
past and helped
question
Chief
is,
destroy
do
the
we
Ark.
manage to need it?
To bring Mendicant Bias back wouldn't make, like, a lot of, I guess, narrative sense.
Do it.
Other than, I guess, like, fan service. But then again, like, the only fans who know what a Mendicant Bias is are kind of like the lore crazy people.
That was...
Phil Swift says,
Something?
I vehemently disagree. On arrival, to each their own. Yeah, that's
Let's
okay.
go.
A lot of Halo 4's soundtrack, I think, is good. It's good music. I just don't think any of Halo 4's music is what I'd call iconic. Like, kind of like how the Halo theme is so iconic that even people who don't play Halo know the
Did I
monk
miss
chant.
something?
And knew
There's
it
a
before even the
file that's been
memes.
unlocked, but I don't have
Anything
access.
from Halo 4, though,
need to root out
it's
of here.
like, yeah, it's
Okay,
fine.
let's see.
It's
There's
just
a
good
breach
music,
close
you know,
by.
it's
It
not
should lead us to the
iconic
surface.
music. And that's not a problem with Halo 4, by the way. That's more of just kind of a problem with how really good Marty O'Donnell and Michael Salvatore's music was in Halo. Shrimp Guy says, I paid $60 to find out that the campaign is on the
Give me a
Battle
second,
Pass.
and I'll get this
Why the
bridge
hell did I
activated.
buy the campaign? Shrimp Guy, this is what I will say. Basically what you're doing is you're proving
We've got
to
company, Chief. Meet me
like
at the plinth up ahead.
stockholders, investors, and stuff that people will put money into the campaigns of Halo. Like, I got a code for the campaign, but I am going to buy it with cash money, just because I do want to make a point. You know, I don't want people in, like, investor meetings to see, like, the campaign made this amount of money, but look how much cash the microtransactions are bringing in, you know? Divert resources over to more microtransactions. That's what's making money. I really like the sound of the pulse carbine in this game. I wonder if the I would be your daddy skull in this game makes them comment on like the Craig meme. Okay, guys, you ready for this? We all gathered here. This is, in my opinion, the most bizarrely unfinished animation in the game. The game's animation quality is generally excellent, except for this exchange here. So I'm gonna go quiet, watch it, and tell me if you agree.
Wow, you got here fast. Not the type to waste any time, huh?
No.
Noted. Let's go.
I'm not crazy, right? That was weird looking. Something tells me that some poor animator, whether it's a contractor or somebody at 343, had a lot more ambitious plans for for that little like animation sequence right there, and he was basically told, no, you gotta cut it short, man. Like, you know, we gotta go gold soon. And he's like, crap, and he just had to kind of like finish it as quickly as possible. Because something about that exchange looked really kind of unfinished and rough. Shrimp Guy says, I'm not usually mad about things being on Game Pass, but I don't even get cool unlocks? Nothing? Beautiful game, though. I do actually think you get stuff for being subscribed to Game Pass. I can't remember, though. It's so kind of like, man, I hope that they sort out the microtransaction issue, because Halo Infinite is kind of like one of the weirdest like mishandlings of a microtransaction scheme I've seen in a while. Like, even Call of Duty, as much as Call of Duty sucks, they at least let the game breathe for like a couple of weeks at launch before just flooding the store with ugly cosmetics.
Did anybody else heard that?
Hello, little sidekick. I'm taking you with me. Oh boy.
Oh no.
What's wrong?
This gravity lift should be powered up. We need to find a way to
You
bring
get
it back
an AR
online.
skin, I think somebody said. Yeah, see, I feel like if you're like a Game Pass subscriber, you should get something more substantial than that, right? Look at the blood splattering. Something looks rough about the decals, right? In this game. Like, I even noticed that the grunt decals, like their blood splatters, grunts have bioluminescent blood. It glows slightly. And it's kind of weird that they don't in this game. I hope that that's just like a glitch and not just kind of like an artistic, like kind of an oversight.
All space, all time. Stars, swelling, collapsing, ending, serving their longer, shorter.
Let's run this way.
The yearning amplified at last.
Ghost Cortana is up to something. There we go. For those of you who wanted blood in a Halo game.
Is that a Spartan? We need to find out what happened.
Here's your chance to speak up. Something kinda gnarly happened here. Oh my god, look at this. So, hang on. So the idea is supposed to be that, like, this Spartan got ambushed by all of these different Banished, and you can kind of, based on, like, the body, you can... It looks like a jackal was just, like, thrown here across the room. There, you can see dents and a blood splatter with the body right there, so that grunt probably got thrown right into that wall there. That's pretty cool. Did you find the Arbiter sandwich? Did people find it?
Enhanced shield module. Let's see what I can find out about her. Accessing. This is Spartan Bonita
The
Stone,
Doom Slayer
recon
was in
specialist.
here. You're
Files
not
have been
far
offline for
off.
nearly a month.
Give it a
Cause
second.
of death was an energy blade, but different, stronger.
Who do
A
you think it
single
was?
strike. She never saw it coming.
A cloaked elite of some kind with an energy blade?
Oh,
Poor little guy. Did you hear him shriek?
We're here. That elevator should take us to the surface.
So something that is also kind of cool, I guess, is Forerunner Technology, due to Halo lore shenanigans, it can't actually be used by any other creature but humans. It was designed to kind of respond only to a human's genetic signature. So the Banished, you can see here that they've like rigged up their own electronics. They're essentially hacking Forerunner Technology to get it working for them. It's not flawless though. And there was actually an audio log back there where Atriox, basically Escharum is saying that Atriox returned from the Ark, ranting and kind of raving about the Forerunners lying about something, and that they specifically, he wanted the Banished to specifically come here to Zeta Halo for something. Okay, let's go up this way. Anybody? Hello? Here, let's grab this. I'm gonna run over this way. I can't find that last jackal. Do you see him on my motion tracker? There he is. Hey, buddy. I'm gonna grab one of these. Take this with us. It's like a little bag of popcorn. Yeah. It is fun throwing those things around.
We need to call down the elevator.
All right.
Look for a control terminal.
So we're gonna go get the power seed so that we can turn on the terminal. But right here, I am actually going to, I'm gonna play an audio log once we get this little bit of dialogue done with.
Repositories, Forerunner storage vessels, Silexes.
How do you know this?
I was stuck in that room for 6 months, surrounded by them. Let's just say they talk a lot.
So if you're curious about what those like spooky things are, they are essentially like, I mean, look close. We got humans right there. We got grunts over there. That looks like an elite. That looks like a jackal. These are kind of like cryopods, like Forerunner cryopods. They're used for storing like genetic information about creatures, so that once the Halo rings are fired, they can, you know, they can be used to kind of restore. They can restore like the galaxy's life, I guess. So we are gonna listen to this one, where the Banished took a medical officer and forced him to open one of these.
This is Combat Medic Lucas Browning. If you find this, you need to understand. They forced me to help them with it. Whatever it is. They brought it up from whatever's below. When it opened, God, it was something different. I've never seen anything like it. You need to believe me. It's not my fault.
So as a medical officer, he's trained, obviously, in the various like biologies of creatures in the Milky Way galaxy. He even knows about the Flood, okay? Like, the Flood is public knowledge now in the Halo universe. So whatever the Banished made him open terrified him. It was a creature he did not recognize. We got the Banished elevator online. And let's call that elevator.
This isn't Forerunner. It identifies as Banished.
Can you operate it?
In my sleep? Not that I sleep, but... Oh! I don't need to. It's already on its way down.
Incoming.
But what if it's a friend?
It isn't.
Yeah. So you know who that is? That's the elite who kind of got his face smashed in by the Blade Master earlier.
He did not specify in how many pieces.
He's in a bit of a bad mood. Oh man, okay. Hang on. Oh my god. Come here, you. Okay, we are running for it. Woo. Cool boy. Okay. I am gonna need something plasma based because I gotta take down that guy's shields. So we got a kinetic weapon. Okay, so plasma. Let's take down his shields. Switch to kinetic.
Your time is running out. Very well.
Yeah. And his weapons are ours. We're gonna take this bulldog. And we're gonna take his Hydra.
You were right. He was not friendly. By the looks of him, he was some sort of leader. They called him Tremonius.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
That's almost
Master Chief
funny.
knows what's up. He knows how to say quips that would sound good in a marketing trailer.
On your location. They're coming for you.
Sierra 117. Understood.
I've been trying to reach you. You vanished. I thought I was on my... Okay, I got your location. On my way. Be ready.
Scarabs in Halo Infinite, says Ed Bloom. Sadly, no. That's a huge missed opportunity and a mark against the campaign, in my opinion. That kind of like the obvious thing to do would be plop a banished Scarab into an open world environment, and it's just like not here. That's a big missed opportunity, in my opinion. Is this on normal or heroic? It's on normal. Let's grab a Spartan Core and upgrade. We will put an upgrade into our shields. So.
Another Silex. But this one's open. What do you think was in it?
Another problem.
Why so cynical? It might be something good.
Trust me, it won't be.
So that's actually pretty cool. That all the ones down there that we saw, they're all like blue. But this one's yellow and it's open. So that's probably the same thing that those banished made that poor guy open. So that thing is loose on the ring somewhere. And Master Chief obviously knows what's up. The weapon is a little bit more naive.
What if Tremonius needs our help against the demon? He's fine. And if he ain't...
Wakey, wakey! Mr. Joestar is here.
How do we get out of here?
Terminal, over there.
All right, let's check out. Let's check out. Come on, we were promised an open world
Just
game.
give me a second. I should be able to get control from here.
So Tremonius has fallen. A victim of the Master Chief's might. Do not fool yourself. He was not the best of the banished, not by any measure. It occurs to me that we have not been introduced.
Shides says the Hydra design is great. I agree.
No,
I really like this new Hydra design.
Your legend.
It looks a lot more like UNSC, I guess, than the one from Halo 5, which kind of looked like a Killzone weapon.
In the hearts of your kind. Misplaced. I want you to know my name too. To know my legend. How else will you beg me for mercy?
The Dominitri says, Halo 5 looked better in my opinion, but they probably had to do a lot to get the open world running on a 1. Yeah, I'd say Halo 5 looks better than this game on the base Xbox One. But this game, I think, is doing a lot more complex things than Halo 5. I also just think, visually, this game is a lot prettier looking than Halo 5.
Wow, look at this place. It's so... full of more monsters coming to kill us.
Look at this place, the frame rate. It's so uneven.
You're gonna need to hear me somewhere to land.
Yeah, my frame rate is,
Incoming.
My computer is right now shitting the bed a little bit. It is not happy about this environment. So hang on, I'm gonna hop over to my settings. Let's turn, let's do an even 60. And let's bump up the sharpening filter just a smidge. There we go. Okay, all right. Frame rate has stabilized a little bit. It does look a bit chunky, but the sharpening filter has thankfully evened out some of the rough edges. Somebody says, I hope you score a Series X soon. I actually did score a Series X. I have one. It is a pretty beefy console. Not in terms of size, just in terms of what it can do. I did a couple of stress tests on some of the more problematic games, like Battlefield 5, Battlefield 1, like the games that just kind of don't ever hold a consistent frame rate, and it just straight up locked across the board as far as frame rate goes. I'm very happy with the performance of the Series X so far. Here we go, let's run down here. Boom! What is that? Okay. I guess we can make this work.
I'll teach you to hide from me. I knew it.
Ah, damn it, I missed that. Okay, watch this. We're gonna come over here because people need to try going back here a little bit. Guess what's over here? A whole spanker rocket launcher. All to ourselves. Whoa, do you see the lighting freaking out there? Yeah, I'm not too happy with the performance on PC. You can also destroy the Phantoms, if you're wondering. Thankfully, they are entities that you can destroy. The explosion effect doesn't look that good, which is kind of disappointing, but, you know. Hopefully that's something that can kind of be rectified in the future. Let's take this sniper rifle with us. We're also gonna grab this this here banished record player. Boom. You could get your resolution down. The stream is 720p anyway. You know what? You're right. I think I'm gonna do that. Here, let's bump the resolution to 85%. Yeah, much better. Holy moly, this is really buttery smooth. That was actually a good idea. And then look, we're gonna just bump up the sharpening just a smidge. Yeah. It's a little bit softer looking, but that's okay. An acceptable trade-off, you know? Here, let's run this way. Because over here is one of my favorite new weapons, I think, to Halo. The scrap cannon. Look at this thing. I feel like this thing has, like, the presentation that the UNSC turret needs, since they replaced it with the Reach turret.
That's the last of them.
We got an armor locker, cosmetic unlocked for multiplayer.
Don't answer that.
It is an
If you can
obelisk
find me
stone
somewhere to
armor
hack in,
coating.
I think I can guarantee this base will
I
be
saw some
safe for
people
the
saying that you
Sentinel.
just straight up, like, can't get different armor pieces, I guess, by playing the campaign, which is, like, it's like I don't even have the energy to be, like, annoyed by that, you know? It's just like, of course the campaign doesn't let you do that. That would be too fun.
Let me see. The Banished are using a modification of the Covenant's BattleNet protocol. Pretty easy to push through.
There's a lot of frame pacing issues with the animations. Some
I've removed
animations
this
run at
location
half
from
frame
their
rate in
system.
gameplay and in
We're safe
cutscenes.
here.
Some cutscenes
LZ
entirely
secure.
run at half frame rates as the Dominatri. I noticed that, dude, and it is very not great looking. And the fact that they just were comfortable launching the game that way is kind of like, you know, not a big fan, but... Somebody's asking about my difficulty. We're currently playing on normal. Derisa says, I love that the base is built into the crash frigate. Is it? I gotta take a look, actually, once this cutscene's over, but...
As good as this feels. Please tell me we can go.
Somebody's saying the sharpening filter does not play well with streaming
looking for?
compression. Does the stream look kind of ugly? If it does, I can turn down sharpening.
Cortana. But she... This is all her fault.
It isn't Cortana. Tell him.
If the stream does look ugly, I
classified.
can absolutely go into
Permission
the
granted.
menu and turn down sharpening a smidge.
I was created by Dr. Catherine Halsey to mimic this installation's security to trap Cortana for deletion. I was successful.
Cortana's no longer a threat. And now she's going to help us stop the Banished.
Of course she is.
I think I'm with you. I didn't even know what a banished was an hour ago.
Mysterious
Even I can
Vagabond
see
says,
the
do you
odds
remember when the
aren't great.
flamethrower was an actual weapon and not a turret
You
pickup?
should listen to her. You're gonna get us all
The
killed.
flamethrower has always had
This
sort
is
of like a weird
fascinating.
history in the Halo
You're
series.
trying to survive. But I was programmed to die.
Really? One person with a death wish wasn't enough.
No, I was just figuring what I'm supposed to... Wait,
The Dominitri
I'm picking
says,
up a
343
UNSC distress
said that they
signal.
found the frame rate issue though, and they're going
The
to
source
issue
is
an
4
update, so
kilometers
there's that at
somewhere.
least. Oh, it's nice that they're going to, you know,
here is the distress signal's point of
do
origin.
that, I guess. I don't know. Maybe 65 sharp, somebody said? Alright, we can do that. So, okay, in all of my time, I have replayed this opening mission approximately 571 times.
is our
That's an
current location.
exaggeration. But this
was,
tutorial
20
here
minutes ago,
is
a
not
banished forward
skippable.
operating base. I say
I have
was
listened to
because
her
now
explain to
it's
me how to
ours.
capture forward operating bases
Chief, what is she
so
talking
many
about?
times that I could recite this
here's
to
the
you,
cool
line by
part.
line.
There are more UNSC
And the fact
forward
that the game
operating
doesn't
bases
let
that
you
have
actually
fallen
select
into
your own
banished
missions
hands.
means if you want to play
Well,
certain parts of the
pause.
campaign,
They have
you have to
flaws.
replay
Each
the
one is
campaign over and
associated
over
with
and
a
over
territory.
again and
Here's the location of
listen
the
to
UNSC
this
signal
little
I've been
spiel
tracking.
over and over again.
And
And I
here
am...
are 2 more fobs.
I'd like a way to skip this, 343.
Mark it. Let's go.
Let's go. What? There? Siempre hay algo contigo. Déjame en paz, por favor.
Do you want the Flood to be in this game?
Ready and waiting, Chief.
Oh, obviously. I mean, like, if I could have my way, yes, I'd like the Flood to be back. But I'd also say that it's like, if that's not the kind of story or game that 343 is telling here,
Leave me here waiting.
then I'd rather they...
It's not like I have anything better to do.
The pilot's complaining. I'd rather they make the game that they clearly want to make, you know? So it's like, if the Flood do not factor into this game's story, don't include them, you know? That being said, though, if I had full creative control of Halo, I would put the Flood in. Designated Kitty says, I have no idea how co-op would work in this game. Yeah. I guess you could, like, tether players together, but that would even suck for, like, you know... For, like, That would just suck for, like, gameplay variety, if players couldn't move beyond, like, 300 meters of each other.
Beautiful, isn't
How does
it?
Far Cry handle it?
To some.
I have a question.
The Real McCoy says, this feels like Halo's MGS5.
I was
Good in different
created to
ways,
lock down
but just so
Cortana,
different from the
but I
original
don't know
experiences.
why.
I'm not super interested in playing it. Maybe when
What
it goes
did she
on
do that
sale.
was so wrong?
That's okay. It is very different,
was our
but
target.
I'd also say, like Metal Gear Solid 5, it
I
is so
understand that.
different, but what it is as a game is still phenomenal
Is this
and
classified?
definitely worth playing, if that makes
I
sense.
don't have all the information.
Chief, this is insane. I see banished everywhere.
Q Walter says some ordinary gamers deleted the game because of the crash.
What intel
Yeah,
did
whatever.
Dr. Halsey give you before your mission?
Halsey only tells people what they need.
I stopped watching some ordinary gamers when he did that video explaining why we should be sympathetic to billionaires.
I still don't
I'm like,
understand
whatever,
why you had
man.
to delete her.
Go away.
Feels like something's missing.
Guess what? They noticed. They all noticed. And we've got a battery structure up ahead. Armored. Very heavily armored.
It'll have to wait, I suppose.
How close can you get us?
How close?
Have you ever noticed your hands vibrating like Jello, says designated kitty?
Put us down
Yeah,
here.
the game has a lot of issues like that.
We're still doing this.
It's pretty ugly looking, and the fact that the game is so kind of, like, I guess, comfortable with showing that on full display is a little bit disappointing, I guess. It's Z-fighting, I think is one of the terms for it, but it's not as obvious on PC, but right now, I'm not sure if the stream will pick it up, but Master Chief's hand and his grappling hook, they're vibrating
We're
a
close
little
to
bit.
the UNSC
You know,
signal's
they look a
origin.
little bit wiggly.
Source.
And it's an issue that,
Unclear.
like, Halo
There's
has
just
always
too much
had.
chatter on all banished channels. I keep hearing the tower. It's probably the main structure we saw as we flew in.
That's the tower over there.
Look down there. We're close to the fob we detected. You take out those monsters. Get me to that terminal. Okay, UNSC signal first. But we need to come back here when we're done. Or the other
Boom.
fob. You choose.
Let's get this party started, I guess. The banished. Whoa. Okay, that was a... okay. All right, I guess I'm down here now. How you guys doing?
Taking fire.
All right.
You made short
I think we're
work of
good.
that, huh?
Yeah.
Now to business. Let's lock down fob golf.
Okay, we picked up that audio log. We're also gonna have to listen to her explaining what a fob is again.
Let me see. Yes, I was right. All I need to do is chat with the banished security protocol.
Sheeds?
And by
Sheeds?
chat, I mean push it out of
Says,
the way
you don't have
because
to go
it
into
is really
detail,
not
but
smart."
just tell me
And
if we found
there.
out what happened to our boy
We now have
Lasky.
ourselves a second fob.
Was that you?
Lasky, I think, is
Affirmative.
alive. The campaign doesn't confirm
so
or
what, you're
not.
going to just rebuild the UNSC? Piece by piece?
That's his call. I'm just trying to be helpful. Speaking of which, each fob seems to be linked to the BattleNet. And if I do this,
Nefarious
We
Gremlin
can
says, I
piece
love these
together what
characters,
the
man.
Banished
The
are
weapon
up
and the
to.
pilot are great. Yeah,
for
they're pretty
instance,
good.
over here is some kind
I
of
think this is
banished
Halo's
outpost.
strongest cast of characters since the original trilogy.
Unclear, but it's well defended, so it's definitely worth looking into and blowing up. And
Bonus
here
says, is
what
the
I can
Gray
only
Man gonna
describe
try
as
to show
someone
up
that
and
the
punch
banished
Halo again?
value highly.
You mean King Craig?
Noted.
His bio is
He could.
interesting. If you want to see for yourself, it's waiting for you in the database.
Jody asks, how far
They're
into the
tracking
campaign are you?
UNSC
I am
transponders, too.
currently on
Ships
mission
containing valuable equipment and
3, I want
intel.
to say. Yeah, 3.
No, it looks like there are multiple UNSC squads engaged in trying to survive. They need your help, Chief.
Gucci Balboa says, I want to play Halo 5. To which I'd respond, no. No, you don't, buddy. Trust me. No, that's mean. Halo 5's fine. It's
you
just
ready,
kind of
Chief?
not
What
a
do you
great
think?
Halo
I
campaign.
already told you that the odds aren't great.
For them.
Then let's go find out what that signal is.
Let's see what we can spawn here. Okay, just a sidekick pistol. I am hearing... Okay. I'm hearing an audio log over here. I'm just collecting these. Most of them are just kind of like storytelling stuff. Like there's a side story about a group of Spartans that are kind of like trying to take the fight to the Banished on the ring. Because the UNSC has been trying to... What is going on with the lighting? Do you see this? The UNSC are trying to survive on the surface of the ring, and a group of Spartans actually try to kind of assemble an assassination squad to take the fight to Escharum. And some of the audio logs actually detail that. There is also some audio logs that kind of talk about... Do you see this? Here, we're just going to get out of the mongoose. The lighting is kind of messing up. But Okay, let's look at our TAC map a little bit. I think I'm gonna go rescue these Marines up here. Designated Kitty says Halo 5 is a really good-looking game, but not a good-looking Halo game. I don't even know if I'd say it's a good-looking game. Because it's like, if you ever just stop and pay attention, there's a lot of just, like, bizarre things that other games were doing at the time that's just absent in Halo 5. Like, your player doesn't cast shadows in the campaign. Like, your gun just has no shadows.
Squad of Marines.
It's very weird looking.
No response on comms, but if they are, it's a sure bet they need our help.
As well as it's got
Let's
that, like,
find them.
legacy issue that, I don't even know if it's a legacy issue or if it's more of, like, a symptom of, you know, like, developers inheriting somebody else's game engine. But, basically, anytime the Covenant and Halo 5 are in shadow, they all look like mashed potatoes or clay. Let's free the Marines. Whoa, okay. I think I overestimated the bandage there. There's also, like, a pretty bizarrely aggressive draw distance with Halo 5 where shadows are popping in, like, 10 feet in front of the player or something, and all the animation frames are cut in half, so all enemies in that game just look like animated GIFs. Halo 5's just, like, a really ugly game, in my opinion. I think it's very good at distracting people visually by just kind of throwing everything at your face, but if you ever just stop and kind of look around, it's I just think it's kind of ugly looking.
But we will not stop. This will be
There we go. All right, we saved, what are they called?
You've given these Marines
Boxer
hope,
Squad? Whoever
They'll
we just
remember
saved?
that.
Yep, Boxer Squad. Which one has worse explosions, Halo 5 or Halo Infinite? Definitely Halo 5. The explosions obviously aren't, like, perfect here, but I do think that they look better. As in, like, you can definitely tell that the animators are trying, like, the visual effects artists and stuff are trying really hard to make the explosions feel a little bit more, like, part of the world. But they do still have, like, that just, like, that problem. And it's not just this game, by the way. It's a lot of games. Where explosions are just kind of, like, 2D animated GIFs. Where it's like, all you have to do is look, and you can tell, oh, that's not, like, a 3-dimensional ball of fire. That's essentially an animated billboard of an explosion. And it's just one of those annoying things where it's, you know... Near the start of the Xbox One generation of consoles, explosions were a little bit more 3-dimensional, and somewhere during this last console generation, everyone, for optimization purposes probably, started moving towards, like, these 2D GIF-looking explosions, and I just think it's, like, really ugly looking. So I don't think it's exclusive to Halo Infinite as a problem. Damn it. Okay. Here, let's hop up this way. Okay. We're playing Halo Breath of the Wild style. We are trying to go over there. And that is a banished camp down there that unfortunately does kind of look like mashed potatoes. But... Whoa. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yikes. Okay. How are you guys doing?
Show him you are capable of ungoing.
Alright, we're taking this ghost with us. I think there is a Spartan core over here. I think we've actually collected quite a few of these. We could probably throw some of these into our upgrades, right? Yeah, we've got 2 of them. Okay. we're gonna upgrade our grappling hook to be electric, and I guess nothing else. That's okay. What's your current favorite side activity for Halo Infinite? It's tough, because I actually don't like any of the side activities. Like, as side activities. Because all of the side activities, like like saving those Marines, that's just a combat encounter. Like, if this was a Halo campaign, that would just be stumbling into a room and seeing a squad of Covenant, you know? It's not really an activity. So, I don't really like any of the activities in this game, because they are all just, like, encounters that you would see in a linear Halo campaign. I like them all in combination. In fact, I do kind of wish, I guess if we could say, like, favorite encounters, I wish that there would be more of them. Because, okay, if this, here, I'm going to explain an issue that I do have, that I hope is, like, maybe rectified via, like, updates to the game world. Here, we're going to hide from that Craig, because I want to explain myself. If this was a Halo campaign, the game would not telegraph fight sequences, right? The reason I'm engaging him is because I heard the horn, which means the Banished are on the way, so... Like, the game would not telegraph, hey, in the next room is a firefight. So the fact that this game is like, hey, on that hill are a bunch of Marines fighting. It's just like, I feel like that's the kind of thing that you'd naturally stumble upon in a Halo campaign, you know? So I do wish that at least via, like, updates and stuff, they'd add, like, dynamic ones to the open world. Because so far, all of the Marine encounters in the campaign, they are on your mini-map, and you can click a waypoint to them. I would like a little bit more, like, surprise, you know? Like, kind of coming over a hill and seeing, like, a bunch of Marines engaged in a firefight and not having it telegraphed for me minutes in advance by a giant waypoint marker. Alright, these Marines are freed. Oh, there's a Jackal sniper. Damn it!
Holding position. On your six. Roger.
Somebody's saying, so do they have a secret friendly grunt like in Halo 3 and Halo CE? I'm actually not entirely sure. Probably, right? Like it's just kind of a gag? Let's run up this way. God, I will say, when this game looks beautiful, it looks really good. Like all of this here with like the thick shrubbery and stuff, this all looks fantastic. And do you see the way that the grass is a little bit more reactive, I guess? To, like, impulses? Like, the grass isn't just, like, static. I mean, it doesn't wave, I guess, organically in response to wind. It's more so, like, animated to kind of snap to and from positions, but if that was kind of done due to technical limitations, it's a solid illusion, I guess, of more dynamic foliage. It's just like good stuff, you know. 343 have some talented artists. Something that I think people haven't like considered as far as like, you know, developers working from home. When you're working, the thing about like working on a video game is a lot of this stuff is NDA'd, right? Like you could get into a lot of trouble for leaking stuff, but also the temptation to leak stuff when you're working from home is probably very high. So a lot of developers, the way that they have to work is kind of via streaming, where you've got like, you have access to kind of like a video portal, and you're just streaming a video, and obviously that video will have a lot of compression. So a lot of like artistic, I guess like interpretation has to be done, because you're not literally seeing the game in front of you when it comes to working on like the greater picture of the game. And that is probably why we see a lot of games in the last year releasing with like a lot of just bizarre like lack of attention to detail.
What can I do for you,
It's probably because a lot of those developers were kind of like squinting through a pixelated streamed video on one of their company's servers, you know, and trying to be like, did that explosion look good? I don't know, it looked good, but that might have been the compression. Hello says, is the campaign worth getting? So, purely as a Halo fan, yeah, I think the campaign is worth it. You know, it's worth it because I do think that the game offers a lot of, just in general, the story is pretty awesome as a Halo story.
The man himself.
It's kind of the Halo story that Halo's needed in quite a while. I also think that as far as like an open world game goes, this is probably one of the more enjoyable ones, in that it's not like trying to waste your time. As a Halo campaign, I'm not quite sure how I feel about it, just because it doesn't really feel fair. You know, it's like comparing what's better, Halo Wars or Halo Combat Evolved. Well, that's kind of unfair to begin with, because they're both such different video games. It's really up to personal preference. I definitely prefer the more linear campaigns for the Halo series. But, you know, that's not a knock on this game. Because that was purely personal preference, you know? Shrimpy says, do you think we should be able to earn credits from buying and playing the campaigns? Maybe more credits for higher difficulties or something. Yeah, I think that credits should be a thing you can earn, not just buy.
He's got quite a rap sheet. Thousands of UNSC personnel died at his hands. Time to make it right.
You're running this way. Do you hear that low string that's come in? Look, there's the elite. I think he's the boss. Boom, we got him. That is also something that I appreciate. The game doesn't make them like spongy Destiny 2 bosses for no particular reason other than the guy has a name. All of the bosses, if you know what you're doing, you can melt them like that, because they are enemies. Ooh, ooh. Boom. Anybody else? There's a jackal sniper up in those trees. No, he's on the other side. Damn it, I missed. I'm gonna take this. Oh man, okay, we are... Reinforcements are here! Okay, we're hiding up here. Give me a second. I'm sure there's some chat. I like the Halo Pringles as bonus. Yeah, they're okay. The ones that are supposed to be MOA Pringles. Yeah, I guess those ones are okay, right? I think they basically took like barbecue. That's at least what they taste like, the Halo Pringles. Anybody else? Yeah, there's a Craig over there. Alright, come here, buddy. Is it mean to let the Banished kind of recover after being smacked before killing them? This little guy's trying so hard. Let's grab some kinetic ammo. I think we did it. Oh no, we didn't. There's one more. That right there, though, if we're talking about differences from the original, the more linear Halo campaigns, that's something to get used to. Is unfortunately, due to the more open-worldy nature of the campaign, you do need to kind of pick up the pacing yourself, I guess.
I'd suggest sending a thank
I'm
you
waiting
card
for
to
her to
the
finish
upgrade.
talking before
But
I
you killed the
elaborate a little
intended
bit.
recipient, so we can skip that part.
So remember, if I do sound critical, it is because, for me, the honeymoon phase has kind of worn off. I've had a lot of time to kind of digest this campaign, experience all of it. Something I do notice about this campaign is, in the more linear Halo campaigns, and this does go for Halo 5 too, is a lot of the combat is very deliberately paced. You know, all these environments, they don't really overstay their welcome, you know? You're kind of funneled from encounter to encounter, and you can tell that, like, the developers have almost, like, timed it to a T. You know, it feels kind of like a roller coaster. In this game, because of how open-ended it is, there is a lot of room for, if you're lost, you kind of won't know what to do. You know, that 30 seconds of fun combat loop? Depending on how lost you are in the open world, that can sometimes be 3 minutes of kind of... It can go from 30 seconds of fun to 3 minutes of where the hell is the last guy, you know? And that's not really, I guess, like a problem that I think the level designers themselves can fix, you know? That's more or less just kind of a problem with open world game design in general. In the more linear environments in this campaign, like when you enter Forerunner environments, the pacing tightens up, you know, and you're never lost. You're never looking for that last guy. But in these open world environments, you do kind of lose track of some of the enemies. Here, I think I actually missed somebody. That was a valiant attempt by that guy, but... Surveillian says, do you know if your game profile and progress stays if you move between PC and Xbox? It does stay. It does stay, which is a pretty awesome feature. I am glad that that is the case. Somebody said, God, her jokes are cringy. I think the weapon's cute. I do think her jokes aren't necessarily bad. The problem is it's kind of like oversaturation due to how long the campaign is. So Halo 2 has like, I feel like you could probably say like maybe 40 or so jokes, maybe less. This campaign, though, is considerably longer than Halo 2, so there are a lot more jokes than that game.
It's coming from
And so you're exposed to a lot of... Like, I bet if Halo 2 was, like, literally as if every other line was a joke, you'd probably be driven crazy, too. That being said, you know, humor is subjective, so some of the jokes for me don't quite land, but the weapon is also a kid. You know, she's only a couple months old. Here, let's run off this way. Oh no, we've got a bot in here. Goodbye, bot. Would you say the weapons comedy is MCU-like? Sometimes. There definitely is kind of like those MCU-style jokes where it's like, we're not taking the situation we're in seriously. Quippy quip, jokey joke. Where I think like the humor of the original trilogy was more or less like the kind of like funny situations that the characters were in. Like Cortana saying, you look nice. And then both Chief and Johnson saying, thank you. And then just looking at each other. It's more like the punchline is that they both thought that she was talking about them. Or, you know what I mean. Where in this, a lot of the humor is just the weapon is being sarcastic about the situation she's in, which, you know, is a thing that Cortana does too, but it's definitely got a little bit of that, like, we're trying to be Joss Whedon-y type of energy. It's not bad, though. It's just kind of like, you know, the state of, I guess, like, American humor, which is a lot more, like, pointing out the situation you're in a meta way. Like, oh boy, here comes the bad guy. He's about to monologue. Please laugh, because I'm not taking the thing I'm in seriously. I think of, like, Johnson. A lot of his humor is designed more around, like, just the insults that he says. You know, it's just really funny, some of the things that he's saying. Like, Johnson is taking his situation very seriously, but he's also just, like, saying the funniest insults towards the enemy. You know, like calling Guilty Spark Tinkerbell and stuff.
UNSC distress pulse. No response on comms. We should check it out.
Look, right here, Halo Infinite looks gorgeous right now, right? The way that the sunlight is reflecting off the metal. The game definitely does go from looking, like, kind of a little bit ugly to just, like, goddamn, you know? Halo's pretty pretty. Halo is pretty pretty. There goes that Phantom. Who is the worst Halo character, says Jeff. I think the worst Halo character might be that thing from Halo Nightfall, the guy in the rubber mask. I forgot what those things are called. That might be the worst Halo character in my opinion. Look at this chaos. There's just AI running around all over the place.
Enemy reinforcements.
Hey, buddy! That was bold of him to try to jump up here, you know. Warden Eternal, no contest. No! Come on, don't be mean. The Warden does not look like a Halo character. He looks like something from, like, Warframe or something. But, as far as, like, his presentation goes, like, that was a pretty solid voice that they got for the Warden Eternal, you know? Kudos to the, audio team. His voice sounded snazzy. It was not a Forerunner voice. It was not really what a Halo character should sound like, but, the presentation for the Warden Eternal was top-notch. I guess when I think of bad Halo characters, what I think is something that I actively think, like, devalues Halo. Like, just by existing, you have made Halo worse. And, those stupid guys in the rubber masks from Halo Nightfall, those, I think, devalue the Halo brand, because they're just, like, cheap looking. The Warden Eternal, he's just, like, the wrong character for the video game. You know, if he was in any other video game, he'd be pretty awesome. Same with, like, Fireteam Osiris. Like, I wouldn't call anybody from Fireteam Osiris bad. The worst crime that Fireteam Osiris committed is that they were boring. You know? There does need to be a separation between boring and bad, you know? Here, let's run over there. There's something in the armory down there. I don't know. But there's all those Marines back there, and I don't know if they despawn or not. What? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. See, some of the humor in here does absolutely land. And something that is actually kind of fun is that grunt who is on that comms. That is Joseph Staten, the original voice for the grunts in the Bungie Halo games. And I can only assume that those must have been added after Joe joined the project as creative head. Because I don't think he voices any of the grunts in this campaign, which he did voice some of the grunts in Halo 5's campaign. Roland is chill, says Bonus. Yeah, Roland's fine. He's not what I'd call an iconic Halo character. To the point that if we never see Roland again, I think the Halo series will do just fine. But he's definitely, like, not that offensive, you know? I guess, like, for Halo, it should always strive for that kind of, like, Han Solo, Princess Leia, Chewbacca, and Luke Skywalker type of status for its characters, you know? You never want to settle for, like, I don't know, Roland. I feel like Halo can be a little bit more iconic than that, so to speak. Here, let's run this way. And yes, the word iconic is annoyingly overused, but it's really just like the best way, I guess, to describe Halo, you know? And I do think also some of the best bits of Halo are when it's kind of like borrowing from other forms of media, you know? Like, I think almost like something that the Reclaimer saga, unfortunately, kind of a mistake that it made is that it was more inspired by Halo than it was other things. Like, Halo has always been sort of like this love letter to science fiction in general, where people like Johnson, they are homages to... He's an homage to a character from Alien. Or Aliens, plural. And stuff. Like, I feel like almost that's where you want to go, where you want to kind of, like, analyze some of the most, like, popular, most venerated characters from science fiction and see how you can translate what people liked about them into your story, you know? Be inspired by other things. That's why I almost feel like if we were to make another Sergeant Johnson, that would be like one of the worst things Halo could do, because it's like, no, don't make another Sergeant Johnson. You want to look towards other sources for inspiration. Let's climb up here. We're playing Breath of the Wild with a... Well, I guess it is just another green man, you know? Although in Breath of the Wild, Link is kind of a blue man, isn't he? I am gonna see what is up here. Oh man, some red jackals. I said that like I was in danger. The red jackals are fine, you know? Hello, I'll take you. What else is up here though? That was kind of pathetic. That poor grunt didn't stand a chance. I think that's part of why Esheram, I think, really works for me. Is the writers of 343, as I said before, they were kind of like almost inspired by like televangelist type people. You know, they weren't just thinking like, let's make a brute. Let's make him a Halo brute from Halo, the video game series. Like, they look towards other outside inspirations for him as a character. Oh boy. Let's run up this way. I feel like there's something up here, right? I feel like I remember there being something up here during the preview sessions. Hey, buddy! I will be taking this off your hands. I don't really need a energy sword. Although, I don't even think I need a skewer. I could just take the sniper with me. Okay, let's run up this way. Oh, look at that. You can see the light on the other side of the ring, like the daytime. Something also to consider in this game is, daylight, like day and night cycles in a lot of modern games don't make sense because it's very compressed time of day. In Halo Infinite, though, it totally makes sense. That, like, yeah, I guess a day on a Halo ring would just be like an hour or so, you know? It's not exactly a planet, is it? What is around this area? Okay, I think we're cycling our way back to Ransom Keep. So, you know what? We're gonna go tackle Ransom... Oof. This is the stuff. If we're talking about stuff that, like, the game could probably work on, is implying more detail at a distance. Because, look, the game's draw distance is very honest. And when you've got a sniper rifle, which is probably, like, one of the first things you're gonna do in a shooter, you know? Climb up to a mountain and take out a sniper. That looks like mashed potatoes. I'd actually love to play some, like, other open world games and see how they do that stuff, because your game can't have an infinite draw distance. That's kind of, like, unreasonable to ask, you know? What is that? Let's go. Oof. Who is the best Halo character? That's a question that I almost don't know if I can answer, because that's each character serves their own specific purpose, you know? Like, I feel like what makes Halo work is that all of the characters there are pulling their own weight. If you removed some of them, the story would kind of, like, it wouldn't quite land. So I guess that's, like, really hard to say what is my favorite character, because I like all Halo characters for very different reasons. Ooh, okay. Whoosh. Oh, we were just here. Okay, I know where we are, actually. Should we check out up there, or should we... Nah, we're just gonna head for Ransom Keep. Hey, look! It's the Goobers. Here.
You got it, Chief.
Ma'am, you give me your bulldog, you take that sniper. I know what a sniper rifle is like in the hands of a Marine. You have unlimited ammo. You will be fine. Let's see if their pathfinding can figure this out. Where are you? Okay, alright. Alright, I guess we're going up this way.
Oh, apologies, sir. Chief.
We'll figure out a way down for them. Yeah, they're keeping up. You see them on my radar? Alright, come on, men and women. What is the best Halo game? Somebody says cop-out answer. Okay, you know what? You want me to give you an answer? Guilty Spark. Guilty Spark is probably one of my favorite Halo characters. Not the, like, the Chakas stuff, which that's cool for, like, lore purposes. But, I'm specifically referring to the character from Halo 1, 343 Guilty Spark, divorced from the Halo lore. I just like the idea of this just malfunctioning AI who's just babbling to himself incoherently because of how old he is and he hasn't had anyone to talk to. And he's also slightly malfunctioning. It's just like a fun character. I imagine like Guilty Spark is quite a bit of fun to write for. Or just like, I guess, monitors in general. Because like when you're writing a monitor, essentially what you're given free reign to write is a clueless butler. You know, like if you think of Halo as a haunted mansion, the monitor of a Halo ring is the creepy butler that immediately gives you bad vibes when you show up at the haunted mansion. Who's like, "Hello, thank you for coming. The master is expecting you." Mwah, you know, and they drift down the, you know, "Your rooms are prepared." Like that's basically what a monitor is. Here, we're gonna run up this way. I hope that the Marines don't engage. They might, though. They might just start engaging. I've never actually engaged, I've never engaged from this position before, so this is gonna be a bit interesting. Hey, guys! How you doing? I'm here!
Banished really want to protect their fuel silos.
Yeah.
Clearly.
So what are you going to do about it?
Disappoint them.
Nice. You need to manually raise each silo first.
Restore our king.
That was a mistake. I wasn't meaning to blow that up. But... The best character is Chip Stubbo. Any other pick is simply irrelevant. Yeah, that is a good point, actually. Like, some of the more side characters, that's a lot of fun, right? Somebody asked if the Marines salvage their own armor. I have not seen them do that. Also, the Marines seem literally incapable of driving vehicles in this game, which is pretty awful in my opinion.
Chief's racking up the kills.
But I assume that's almost like more so down to just like them not really knowing what they even wanted to do with the Marines until Joe Staten came in. Because before, the Marines seemed to be like very tethered.
You know what to do now.
Pacific Blue says, I haven't heard you call anything beautiful in a while. I'd say Halo Infinite's art style is beautiful, you know? Like, just kind of like, this is like almost like, unfortunately, a game that's, I think, is held back by its engine, not necessarily its art style. Now, granted, I am happy that this game runs on the Halo engine and that they didn't make a jump over to something like Unreal. Because if you did that, you would lose like that kind of under-the-hood Halo feeling, you know? The Unreal Engine feels very different from the Halo engine. Ooh. Let's run this way. I would like to see, though, a Halo Infinite like environment by 343 artists, like rendered in the Unreal Engine, just to see what like Halo, I guess, would look with like, you know, more powerful tech. He couldn't even finish that sentence. Let's grab ourselves some more ammo. We're also going to switch out this battle rifle in a bit, because I know I'm using it a little bit too much.
Destroy that
Yeah, look at the environment. Do you see it flickering? I noticed it too, don't worry. What was that? One of these? Okay, yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it. Let's go over this way. Hey, buddy. Something also that I think it took me a little while to get used to. For some of you who are playing the campaign right now, tell me if I'm crazy or not. It's kind of weird being surrounded in a Halo game, right? The only real time I can think of being surrounded was with the Flood in Halo Combat Evolved, like backtracking.
Well,
in this campaign, you've got like
Banished
in like a 360.
Not for long.
In a 360 radius of the player, which is kind of unusual because usually the Covenant are always in front of the player due to Halo's linear level design.
Do you see that? One M808 Scorpion. In pretty good
Yeah,
shape,
the
too.
lighting is starting to freak out. I almost wonder if there's a memory leak happening right now.
Kind of thing.
You know, graphics are starting to degrade a little bit. Jesus. Yeah, look at this environment just flickering. Something funky's happening, guys. Okay. All right. Yeah. Hang on. We're gonna get to a checkpoint, and then I'm gonna reset, I think.
They're stripping UNSC hardware to repair excavation equipment?
Jesus. Yeah. The environment looks like it's kind of falling apart. I'm also noticing the dynamic resolution is getting more aggressive. Do you see what's going on? The game's getting more pixelated. There's a crash on the way, isn't there? I can feel it. Something's not right about the game right now. So we're gonna try to finish this quickly. And then we will quickly do a reset of the game. This is a cool detail that I do appreciate about this game. Look at that. You can skip quick time events. Thank you.
Ransom Keep is officially offline. We did it, Chief. Well, you did it.
Stay away from my buddies. All right. Let's reset the game quickly, okay?
Did we make it? We all
Saving
got
checkpoint. All right, we did it. There are 4 damage types in this game. Each fusion coil is one of those types. Correct. Correct. There are, I'm trying to remember now. It's, I think standard fusion coil, then there's hard light, then there's plasma, then there's electricity. All right. We're resetting the game quickly. All right, we're back. Xbox Game Studio. I really like 343's new intro. It's one of those small things, but it kind of like reminds me, I guess, of some of the old Bungie ones, you know? Diamond says, keep playing. That is the plan. Here we go. Let's hop back into the campaign and let's see if things are a little bit smoother. Wish they had fire. Yeah, it is weird, right, that the Banished, the Brutes, don't have, like, fire of any kind. Because Halo 3 established that they enjoy the flame or two, the odd flame or two. Pixel Flare made the new intro, didn't he? Says Obsidian. Did he? If he did a damn good job. Shides says, how did the damage types differ? So the way it works is, Plasma is pretty good against shields. Kinetic is really good against, I guess just like, you know, flesh. The electricity weapons are good against vehicles, as well as just like general like stunning shenanigans. There we go. Yeah, the frame rate feels a lot better. Things are still a little bit choppier, more choppy than I'd like, but let's run up here. Hey, it's a Marine.
Where are we going, Chief?
Hey, buddy. How you doing? Let's see if we can convince one of these.
Something I can do? Let's move.
No.
Oh man, that one's my favorite.
Chief's got point.
Careful, don't shoot
What is very
first.
disappointing, because I've got the Bulldog, and I really like the Bulldog.
Looking sharp, sir.
But I want that assault rifle, too. And, unfortunately,
Hey, check your damn fire.
they're literally invincible, which is, very disappointing. Halo 5, did that as well. Actually, no, I think Halo 5 actually reset you if you killed any
Right
humans.
shotgun. Let's move.
Hard light, somebody's asking. Oh, I forgot about hard light. Hard light, it's more or less just wackiness, like it kind of reflects and goes through objects.
Who wants to get
Except for the Sentinel Lead.
taking requests? Enemy nade, move.
Opening up.
What's up here on our tech map? There's a fob up ahead, which we will capture. I saw somebody write an article on how to capture fobs in a Halo campaign, and it was long, like really long. And I guess I just, maybe it's because I'm a Halo veteran, but kill the guys and it's yours, you know? It was kind of like weird reading it. They were like, and if you feel like you're being overwhelmed, retreat for ammo. I guess maybe it's like an article that's written more for people who haven't played a Halo game than it is for like veterans. Which, by the way, that is valid. There are a lot of people in the world that have never played a Halo game. You know, there's thousands, if not maybe millions of people being born every day. It's probably not millions. Although, I don't know, the world is so huge. Actually, why don't we goof off with the Mangler for a bit, right? Did I miss anything in this environment? What is that? No, it's nothing. Okay. Let's run back. Oh my gosh, I think I made a mistake. Oh, damn it! Okay. Tempodic says, not staying, for spoilers, but have a good stream, lads. Thank you so much, Tempodic, for the donation, my friend. I hope you enjoy the campaign, man. Let's grab let's grab ourselves a Mangly and an assault rifle.
You should probably have the better one.
No, where's the assault rifle? There we go. Pick up some ammo for it. Thank you. All right. Come on, lads.
I'm strapped in.
Up and in.
Come on. This one's confused.
Gear up to get splattered, Ben.
There we go. All right. Many Zoomers have never played a Halo game before. Yeah, I mean, Halo is a 20-year-old series, you know? For some people, they take a look at Halo and they're like, meh, too old. Which, hey, that's perfectly valid, you know? Oh my god. Okay, we are poof. I think we've already lost that that Warthog. We can try to make it work, but I'm not sure if I mentioned on this stream or another one, but a frustration of mine, I guess. Not maybe a frustration, but like something maybe I hope that the developers consider in the future is geometry has gotten very complex since the original Halo games. Geometry, just like in general, there's a lot more rocks, there's a lot more stuff, a lot more bumps, where in like Combat Evolved, it was more or less like flat ground with a grass texture on it, and then a couple of grass pieces sticking up. It was very easy to kind of see the bumps in the road, but like, look at this. Do you see all the grass? I can't really see all the like very subtle dips in the road and stuff. It's very easy to tip over vehicles in this game compared to Combat Evolved, and I think that's because of the more floaty vehicle physics. I feel like the weight of Halo vehicles needs to be upped a smidge in the more kind of like realistic environments. Just so that they don't kind of like feel like they're made out of cardboard and they're tumbling everywhere. All right, everybody out. Come on, this fob's ours.
Feel my rage!
That was a nice try by him, but also, huge missed opportunity for the campaign is that you can't assassinate for some reason. You know, assassinations were awesome in Halo. I think we captured them.
Get me to that
or
terminal
killed them.
Fob Foxtrot is ours.
All right.
Another fob in UNSC control. And in the shadow of that banished tower. The closer we get to it, the stronger the UNSC distress signal becomes. The source has to be inside.
I've known people who play Halo, and I've watched people play, but I never owned an Xbox as bonus. That's okay. That's completely valid.
LZ confirmed. Ready to deploy on your order, Chief.
We got a Razorback. Okay. I don't think I need one.
Come on, this way.
What did we capture? Let's see. We got that duelist energy sword. I generally don't like spawning things at the fobs because I think that kind of like takes away the fun of Halo combat inherently, which is usually you're scavenging in the environment and kind of being, you know, pleasantly surprised. I treat the fobs. I'm gonna treat the fobs, I think, going forward more as kind of like a video utility. You know, if I need specific gameplay with a weapon, I just spawn it at the fob. But as far as like gameplay goes, I want to see what the level designers have in store for me. You know?
Love losing to humanity, huh?
Here, let's go this way.
Are we sure this isn't a wasp?
Oh God. Somebody says, "Are we sure this isn't a wasp?"
Let's go.
Yeah, of course we're sure, buddy. It's a multi-man vehicle that has multiple purposes. A wasp is just a UNSC Banshee.
I guess Tower was a more than appropriate name. Look at that place.
Boom.
The signal's coming from within that main
So,
structure.
if anybody's curious, the I Would Be Your Daddy skull, it is at the very top of that tower. And you do need to do some nonsense to get up there. It's not easy. There isn't like a clear path to get to the top of the tower. Here, I guess we're gonna go find, we're gonna find the entrance, because it is actually a lot of fun to storm the thing from its entrance.
Get away from the nade!
Do weapons respawn after a while? Asks Designated
I
Kitty.
guess you just give yourselves
Like-
a new coat of paint to get a new faction, eh?
Weapons in the environment, or like at the fob? Because the fob has a seemingly endless supply of weapons. I will not accept any wasp slander today, says Ramen Ninja. Oh, don't worry. The wasp is also kind of like, it's like Fireteam Osiris, so the most offensive thing the wasp did was just not be that interesting. It's not a bad vehicle, it's just boring. You know? I feel like if I were given, like, you know, a team and I was told to invent a new vehicle in Halo, I would not make a one-man flying aerial vehicle with a fully automatic primary firing mode and an explosive secondary mode, since that kind of already exists, and it's called the Banshee. Come on, guys. We can get you out of here. So we are going to open the gate so that the Marines can storm with us. All right, time to storm Ransom Keep. If you guys have been following the Halo memes, you know what this means. It's time for the guy who says, "Welcome to my tower, Master Chief." And also, do you hear that? The brutes are... Did you see that brute just materialize? If you're noticing, the AIs aren't just using, like, canned dialogue. Like, they have area-specific bits of dialogue. Like, one of them just mentioned Chaklock, who is the leader of this tower. Also, the guy's name is Chaklock, so he was probably bullied quite a bit. Okay, let's run in here, capture this.
How we doing?
Can you play split screen? Not in campaign, unfortunately. This is the year 2021. Yeah, 21. The year 2021. Things that previous games used to have are now free updates. Which, by the way, that's not something to harass developers about, you know? Because they're not doing it out of laziness. You don't have like a bunch of developers rubbing their hands greedily.
There is nothing you can do here. Except die.
You don't have a bunch of developers that are like being greedy and rubbing their hands together and like, hey, we're deliberately not going to include co-op.
Yes, he does, but fortunately, it's misplaced. When the
I guess
lockdown
it's
triggered,
more
there
of a
was
scope
power spike
thing where
in
it's
what
like
I
during
presume
development you
was
got
a
to plan
security
a little bit
building.
better if
I
you want to
marked
include
it on
some of
the
those
map.
things.
This is it. Let's find a way in.
Because a co-op was very much going to be part of the game, you know, they were talking about it prior to launch. This kind of probably surprised the developers just as much as it surprised us. And it probably sucks as a developer, you know, because currently there are probably teams, as we speak, playtesting co-op, like on their internal builds, and it probably sucks, and it's probably crashing all the time. And they're like, God damn it, you know, and they're working really hard to get it working and stuff, and they have, you know, the community telling them that they're lazy for not releasing it. And the reality is, well, if they released it, we'd be calling them lazy for it being so buggy and broken. You see all the Banished just like hiding in there like a clown car? Let's go this way. Buddy. I'd only guessed 3 years of development since the game was almost perpetually in development hell, says Bonus.
3, 2, 1, done.
Ross is saying, so what you're saying is that they aren't lazy, they are incompetent at making the game? No, that's not what I'm saying either, Ross, because look what we're playing right now. Developers made this. They know how to make a game.
Is not good.
Neither is
Something that I think there does need to be a separation between, and also that term, incompetent. I don't like that, because look at this. I just interacted with that thing. I'm reloading my weapon, I'm firing my weapon, I'm running around, I'm picking up a... This is a video game we're playing. They know how to make one. When it comes to stuff like co-op, though, which was delayed, that's not game development incompetence. They clearly know how to design video games. That's more of a time management, resource management, you know, timeline issue, which that probably comes more from, you know, management. And you know, Halo Infinite, it's public development, you know. It's not a secret, I guess, like kind of the struggles that this game had to get working. And hopefully now that they do have stronger leadership, you know, like Joseph Staten being there, that means that things like co-op, you know, features are better planned for, I guess, because none of the developers are incompetent. They just need time to work on this stuff, and they need realistic, I guess, timetables to work within. Is the spike grenade useful in this game? Yeah, the spike grenade's pretty cool. The spike grenade's always been awesome, but in this game it's especially pretty awesome. What's in here? I don't think I've ever been in here. This is cool. What's over here? Hang on.
There we go.
Oh my god, is this a... That, I think, is an entrance. That's a different entrance for the tower. That's cool. So you could, like, sneak in here, theoretically. Why were they able to do it in 2007, 2010, and 2012, but not in 2015 and 2021? Well, in regards to 2021, COVID, you know, is unfortunately the big answer. But I don't want to entirely blame COVID. We can actually get into that here. The game's about to get a bit story-y. So I'll quiet down for a second.
Chief, more Spartan armor.
But I will try to shed some light, I guess. You know, explain some things.
A deployable threat sensor. It appears to lock onto and highlight any targets in range. Could be useful. This armor belonged to a Spartan named Hudson Griffin. Sensor logs suggest he was alive when the armor was removed. Forcibly. It's a long shot, but he might still be alive.
So, as far as, like, you know, why it was possible, what I assume is kind of like almost like a major problem that you see a lot of like modern games going through. And it's not just Halo, by the way. It's a greater problem across the game industry. Is you see like a lot of like in between. When you've got a bigger studio, you've got a lot more people who are talking. You've got a lot more. You've got a lot more people to answer towards. You've got a lot more goals and stuff like that. When you're Bungie in 2007 and you've got like a studio of what, 75 people or something? What was Bungie like back in 2007?
What you would expect for an elite.
But Bungie also did have like external help on Halo 3. You've got the same studio making the same game, and Halo 3 wasn't reinventing the wheel by any means. It was, well, another Halo game. Halo Infinite, though, this is quite a bit different as a game. It requires quite a lot of like rescoping of like figuring out, well, what kind of game are we making and stuff. If Halo Infinite was another linear campaign, I have no doubt that we would have gotten co-op. But clearly the designers wanted to shake up the formula a little bit and make something completely different. And so, you know, the reason that split screen wasn't in Halo 5, I assume that's mostly due to a lack of familiarity with the game engine because it's a completely different developer. But in this game, stuff like that, this is more due to just like, I mean, Halo Infinite is like a completely different genre of shooter than previous Halo games. So a lot of systems need to be kind of reevaluated and stuff, you know? Doesn't make it any less frustrating, by the way. And it doesn't mean that it could not have been included. You know, that's where I guess like the discussion goes more towards like, you know, management. Not that I want to like, you know, shit talk on things that I don't fully understand, but, you know. Let's grab this thing. And then also you've got COVID, you know, which is playing a big issue in the game. Because also, like, at the end of the day, like, you've got the Halo engine that is kind of being rewritten as they're developing the game. You've got also, like, a lot of people who are being brought on to work on this Halo game that doesn't quite have a finished engine yet during development. And then now suddenly, surprise, you're working from home. And so there are a lot of people who... So this is also something interesting to consider. Do you think all 750 or so employees at 343 all have an Xbox One? Some probably do. But what about, like, Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S and, like, all those various different consoles? Every single employee at that studio does not have every single console, you know? When you're working at a studio, it's a lot easier to share around consoles. You know, you bring yours own and you've kind of got, like, an entire floor could make use of it. When you're working from home, though, you don't really have that freedom. So it's probably a lot harder to playtest games when you're working from home.
Where's Jacklock?
Unknown.
Here it comes, guys. The meme moment.
Welcome to my tower, Master Chief. It is where you will be broken. It is where you will give up your secrets.
So I'm not sure if I'm alone.
Do you wonder where I am?
Also, listen to that, Chaklock. He's got like a little vocal synthesizer to make his voice sound deeper, because he's a torturer, so he's trying to make people sound scary, or he's trying to make himself sound scary to people. It's just cool. I don't know if it bothers other people, but the elites in previous Halo games, they were established to have kind of like warbly sounding voices, where it almost sounds like they're talking into a fan. You know, you think of like the Arbiter, were it so easy, and he had that weird filter on his voice. I'm not sure why, like, Halo is just kind of like gone away from that and just made elites sound like they have human vocal cords. I always liked that the Arbiter had, like, that weird sound to his voice, and by extension, all the other elites. Because it's like, yeah, I guess they are aliens, you know? Their vocal cords wouldn't sound like ours. There he is. Okay, we can track him. Got him. Okay, we
I
gotta
need
free
to
our
get
buddy.
him out of that machine.
Ross says, I think I get you. I misunderstood your point. Okay, I'm glad,
Working
Ross.
on it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
man.
Be ready. I'm going to cut him loose.
Yeah, game development sucks working from home. There's a lot of things that, like, I guess even I've never considered before with how difficult it is to make a video game. I almost even wonder if it wasn't for working from home, if they could have had co-op out.
Chief, the banished. I tried to stop them.
Because something also, and this is almost like, I don't think this is 343's fault. I think this is more of like a symptom of 343 went from being a single platform developer to making for, you've got Xbox One, Xbox One X, Xbox Series S and Series X, then PC and all the various PC configurations. They're developing for 4 different platforms? 5. As a development studio, they were used to make the game for the Xbox 360, make the game for the Xbox One, you know?
The Spartans. Did you?
I'll find them.
Echo 216, all channels.
And then you factor in playtesting features of working from home, because Microsoft is really into this like feature parity thing, where it's like the game's gotta run on all of these different devices, and there can't be like the Xbox One X version of the game, which has these features. It's gotta be across the board. All the games have the same features.
Chief.
So it's entirely possible that like co-op maybe does work to some extent on something like the Xbox Series X, but on last gen it's not working, and until it is, you know. Look at that shot. That's pretty powerful.
Sight on the ring? This conservatory
Yeah,
must
poor
be some
Spartan
sort of
Griffin.
Forerunner installation. What do you suppose they're after?
It's time to go.
Yeah, poor Spartan Griffin. I just realized I was babbling incoherently over a Spartan who was just like dying in front of us.
I'm guessing that whatever the conservatory is, the
Woof.
Banished won't want us anywhere near it.
Yeah.
Then they'll be disappointed.
We'll figure out what the
Yes, they
conservatory is
will.
later. Weapon. We are hunting the I would be your daddy skull right now. Yeah. Okay. Whew. Okay, this is the part that is just like, God, this part sucks. Okay, upgrades. Yes, okay, thank God I have 2 Spartan cores. I think I might be able to make this. Okay. Okay, so we're upgrading the grappling hook. Oof. Come on. Yes, okay. Eureka! Look at this, gang. It's Craig's Zeta World Tour. He's performing at Outpost Tremonius, Armory of Reckoning. And look at that. That is really funny that, like, the spoilers for the rest of the campaign of some of the places that you're going to take down, they're just right here at the beginning of the game. Look, Craig's greatest hits. Let's read some of them. I smile inside for the Craig. I was alone. I got tears last summer. My mom used to love me. The smell of flowers makes me happy. The day you become a meme. I can't grow beard. It's pretty good, right? Yeah, glory to Craig. Obsidian says, the Spartan Griffin scene really interests me because both Griffin and Chief's motion capture are the same actor, Bruce Thomas. Really? Bruce Thomas did Griffin? See, I didn't even know that. Alright, here's the skull. It's making a lot of noise. And that is how you get I Would Be Your Daddy. I think. What the F? That's amazing, says Joseph. It is, right? Look at this. Look at him. And look, they gave you an interact prompt just so you can flip this thing over. Like, so like Craig wasn't a thing, right? So once upon a time, this tower here, there probably was like the I would be your daddy skull up there, but like that's about it. So in the last year, a group of people were assembled, or maybe one person, and they were told, you guys have an entire year, and Craig is now a meme. We're going to divert production resources towards this really ridiculous, stupid joke. It's just, man, game developers are really funny when you give them just a little bit of freedom to goof off. I think, if I remember... That's pretty good, right? Craig's a pretty good musician, you know? Here, let's, what is that down there? That looks like a collectible. There's a Cayman squad right there. I guess we could, yeah, why don't we go after, I think hanging out over there is a banished grunt who has like a pretty boring plasma pistol rec variant. What? What are you guys yelling about? They were upset about something. There is a pretty boring plasma pistol variant that you get up there, but what I will say is the color scheme on it is quite nice. I actually like the color scheme that 343 have given some of the variants in this game. So they're almost like following...
HVT in range, Chief. This one's a particularly murderous grunt. High Sumpter Bricklard. He's one of the UNSC's most wanted. Don't underestimate him, Chief.
Could you imagine just being Jen Taylor in the recording studio? And she's like, you want me to say what? Bricklard is his name?
Sure, he does not serve you are gone!
Where's Bricklard? There he is. Come here, buddy. Oh. Here's his plasma pistol.
Confirmed kill on the HVT. Once we deal with the crew, we'll be all done here.
Look, see, it's not exactly the most ambitious plasma pistol ever made from like a sandbox standpoint, but god damn if it doesn't look kind of cool. You know, a white plasma pistol. And a lot of the weapon variants are actually like this. I think they're all white, if I remember right, which is kind of cool, because that they might be going the route of kind of like the enemies. You know, you got your Ultra variants, and all Ultra enemies have a white color scheme. So it makes sense that the Ultra weapons would also be white.
The smaller they are, the less they have to fall. I think that's how the saying goes. Anyway, that's the last of Bricklard. And if his bio is any indication, that's a good thing.
Let's go capture Cayman Squad. Obsidian says, I'm not sure why they didn't bring back the Void's Tear for the plasma pistol variant. Yeah, it is a bit interesting. Because I do think Halo's weapon sandbox has needed a bit of a culling for a while. You know, there's just a lot of kind of like junk that is kind of polluting the sandbox, but also polluting up like storage space. But there were a couple gems from Halo 5 that I don't think needed to be completely thrown away. You know what I really hope? I hope that the Void's Tear, the reason it's not in this campaign, is because they're giving it proper production value and like turning it into a weapon of its own, not just like here we've messed around with the settings of a plasma pistol and like gave it an ugly, you know, paint job. Because that would be pretty cool if some of those more creative rec variants from Halo 5 like became, I guess, their weapons. Kind of like the Cinder Shot, you know? That thing used to just be like a repaint of the tube rocket launcher.
And are being brutally interrogated as we speak. Imagine the secrets spilling out of them. Not to mention all the other stuff.
Let's run over this way. He must be playing on easy. Nope, I am playing on normal.
More banished incoming.
Something that is also nice, though, about the rec variants, and I hope that this is the case, is a lot of them do seem to be less of, like, here's a weapon, but it's just better. I mean, you definitely do have some of that, like the Energy Sword rec variant is pretty boring in this game. But there are some other ones later on that are a little bit more interesting, and I wonder if now that they're kind of, the variant system is divorced from real-world monetization, they don't need to kind of like justify your purchase by just making it overpowered. So you do have a little bit more room to have like really just bizarre creative rec variants that they may not be overpowered, but at least it's kind of interesting.
We're with you, Chief.
Oh, thank you. She said we're with you, Chief.
Shotgun. Haul ass now. I'm in.
Obsidian says the Void's Tear would 100% work as a Forerunner weapon. It would. Though I don't know what like ammo type it would be considered, which, you know, that is kind of a limitation of the ammo type system, is that if I were to design a Halo campaign, I wouldn't have an ammo type limitation like that. I design weapons more on like, well, what does this weapon bring to the table? Not, you know, well, this weapon type is this, it's this damage type, which means it has to have this feature.
Stow it, please. Let's do our best.
It would be interesting. In here. These Marines are fun. I like listening to them. It would be cool if they introduced new damage types over time if they want to stick to the system. Like Brutes, they're Doizak, their homeworld. It's kind of like very focused on, I guess, like ore and magnetism and stuff. You know, that's why like gravity technology, electromagnetic tech is kind of like their thing.
No way we're losing. Not today.
Like, you know, I'm thinking of like Halo 3 when you pop off their armor and you could see all those like wires snapping and electricity sparking, and then their hammer. It would be cool if like we could see like some more brute technology that's focused on like gravity manipulation and stuff. But that's, hey, that's where the Void's Tear could come back as a gravity damage type. Where is the way over? Oh, I guess it's over that way. Your sons are so cute. Hey, it's not just sons. I think I've got like a daughter in here too. Yeah, they are very adorable. The Marines in this game, I like them quite a bit. Like the writers at 343, they were on point with these guys. They're not very Echo Bravo 9er, Delta Foxtrot. Like they're not like, you know, like just babbling incoherent military jargon. They're a little bit more just like funny. They sound like people, you know? Boom! All right, Marines, come on! Yeah. Yeah, I love my little band. Is there anything of interest down there? No? Nothing? Okay. Yeah, hold the line, Marines.
Banished are searching for something called the Conservatory.
Let me guess. You're heading there too.
Affirmative.
Well, don't worry about me.
Designated Kitty
I'll
says, I'm gonna be
here,
honest, I don't think
waiting.
weapon redundancy matters in a
Alone.
campaign like this because you have
We'll
ammo
be in
boxes
touch.
everywhere.
Just
What's the
Just don't leave
correlation?
me out here
I'm
for
not
too
sure if I
long.
understand.
Multiple UNSC signatures in that banished stronghold, Chief.
I feel like if
think
anything in a
detecting
campaign,
inside.
weapon redundancy would be one of the biggest kind of downsides to a campaign, you know? If you're designing a very specific, it's almost like think of something like chess, I guess. Or nah, that allegory is actually going to kind of collapse. I guess the way that I see it is when you're designing really fun encounters, obviously variables are a lot of fun, but I don't think you should design a game that is literally do anything you want. I think that's how you get kind of like messy, unfocused, sloppy game design. Some games, that is the point of them, but I don't think that's really what Halo is. Halo is usually kind of like you are in a problem, you know, a sandbox problem. There are enemies everywhere, but the answers to all of your problems are hidden in the environment. So I think having like very specific weapon balancing, where all weapons have very specific roles, is a little bit better than like, they all kind of do the same, just use what you want, you know? That's more of like a Call of Duty type thing, where it's more or less like a weapon is personal preference than it is practical utility.
A chunk of what used to be a single contiguous structure. Can you imagine the force it would take to blow this ring apart? Must have been quite a show.
I miss the spiker and the brood shot, bro, says Kaleido. Yeah, I do miss those weapons. They could be brought back and made, like, pretty interesting.
got a clean record to the new LZ. What's the move, Chief?
Here, let's
We're
go
good
this
for
way.
now, but I got this hunch that won't last forever. Copy that. Eyes peeled.
You see what happens, alien bastards?
Here, why don't we spawn a commando? Just for visual flavor, visual variety. I'm feeling a little bit lazy right now, so I'm going to use the fob. What is he babbling about over there? Designated Kitty says, what I mean is, if it's an open world type of thing, having stuff like a different variant of a pistol or an SMG as a personal preference type of thing. I guess that depends on if Halo Infinite does want to be kind of like a Ghost Recon type of open world, you know, Ghost Recon Wildlands, which I don't think it is. You know, this is still very much like a weapons sandbox where weapons have roles and points for existing. They don't exist purely for preference, you know? I mean, some definitely do. I think when it comes down to the Commando, the Assault Rifle, and the Battle Rifle, those are very much weapons designed for personal preference, which are kind of like design decisions I don't really agree with, but like in that they all kind of do the same thing. It's just like select your fire rate, essentially. You know, they're all precision weapons. They all just have different fire rates, which I think is kind of boring. I hear a beeping, which means there's a... Oh. Collectible. I do think that's kind of the magic of the Halo campaign, you know? Is that it's not like... It's something that I think Doom was kind of refreshing about, that it was like, no, like, if a weapon exists, it exists for a reason. You're not going to have, like, 47 different SMGs, 87 different assault rifles, you know? There is the automatic weapon. There is the sniper weapon. And, like, with that kind of simplicity comes a lot more focus. It's what makes moments where you kind of stumble upon a rocket launcher in Halo Combat Evolved fun, because it's the rocket launcher, you know? It's not like, oh god, another explosive weapon. I'm carrying, like, 37 explosive weapons on my back currently. Like, that simplicity makes the weapons have more purpose within the combat loop. And it also means less variables for the developers to account for, you know? You know? I don't think complexity needs to be literally sheer numbers of things in a game. I think some of the most complex games around are the ones that are the most simple, because they have the most focus put into them.
Get ready. More reinforcements inbound.
Now that being said, I am about to backtrack a little bit, and that I do hope that Halo approaches its sandbox, Halo Infinite at least, approaches its sandbox kind of like Battlefield's done with Portal, where eventually we're going to see every single weapon from all Halo games in this game. Because I do think it would be cool just for Forge purposes. You know, you could recreate past combat loops and stuff, especially if the Forge mode has AI. Man, that brute was in a bad mood.
Add that one to the pile.
Half-Life is a good example of complexity from a focused arsenal. Yeah, exactly. Where Half-Life doesn't have like 500 different weapons for player choice. It has a very limited sandbox. It knows exactly what it wants to be, you know? Now, I don't always think that, like, having kind of like a everything in the kitchen sink sandbox is universally bad. It depends on the game, again.
Heavy guard.
Designated Kitty then says, kind of what I'm getting at is that I want stuff like the Spiker and SMG to come back. Yeah, I get that. I guess, how would we design the Spiker and the SMG to be kind of, like, different, you know? Not, like, fire rate, like, whatever, you know? We can have dozens of automatic weapons, but the weapon, if it wants to come back, it can't just be, it has this fire rate and this range. Because I think that is one of the most aggressively boring ways to balance a Halo sandbox. Think of like the Ravager. Remember how it was last year during the 2020 demo? It was just an explosive weapon, but it fired 3. You know? Well, it seems like since then they've given the Ravager this increased melee damage. They also gave it this charge-up mechanic, so it's like its primary fire mode isn't that interesting, but it's okay because the Ravager backs itself up by having a little bit more going on under the hood. So if the Spiker and the SMG were to come back, how could we make those a little bit more interesting?
I think that console's rigged to his cage.
As weapons.
I think we did it. Did we do it? Oh,
Now we got a gravity hammer.
You all right, Marine?
Joseph says, hey, Late Night, did you try the handheld tank Easter egg? Handheld tank Easter egg? I don't know what you're talking about. What is this? Let's run around, see if we can find some data pads.
We're 2 for 2 on gate crashing prisons. The Marines probably want to burn this place to the ground, but at least there'll be no more prisoners processed here.
Something that I think could be actually quite a lot of fun is if the Spiker, so the idea is the Spiker, it superheats shrapnel, right? And it essentially uses that as its ammo. It's like this like kind of like melted metal that it's just flinging at people. What if it did have some kind of like overheat mechanic? And it could theoretically break if you misuse it. Maybe the more hot it gets, you could see the blades on the end of it, like, starting to overheat a little bit. And that means that it'll have increased melee damage. And, like, the hottest melee will insta-kill any enemy. But the problem is, the blades will immediately break off because of how hot they are. So it's almost like one of those weapons where it's like you want to kind of like tactically use it, you know, spraying around some shots, and then it's like, all right, these blades are glowing hot. Okay, I'm about to use this thing to take out that yellow elite. And it's like, boom, it just breaks in your hand and you toss it to the ground. Tortilla says, hey, Late Night, can you explain how the Bulldog fits into the sandbox? It seems like it always gets beaten out by the AR, even though it's supposed to be a mid-range short weapon. So, the way it was pitched to me, if I remember right, was, it was said by the sandbox team that it's supposed to be essentially, it's not the classic shotgun. And it's not supposed to be like the classic shotgun. It's kind of more like a casual shotgun that you can just pick up and just run around with. Which, I mean, hey, you know, that I guess is where we could probably discuss the finer points of designing a weapon sandbox. I personally don't think that was needed, especially if it came at the cost of the actual shotgun, which did have a very impactful role in the sandbox.
UNSC distress pulse. No response on comms. We should check it out.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about the Bulldog. There are a couple of... When I say that Halo Infinite has the most focused weapon sandbox in the series, since Combat Evolved, in my opinion, I don't mean that it's all perfect, because there are a couple of oddities like that, where I'm just like, I'm not sure what this thing thinks it's trying to be, but I feel like this probably could have spent a lot more time cooking in the oven. Or at least, like, re-evaluating it, because I don't think it meant well, but I don't know if this was the right weapon to use at that time, you know? We're gonna see if we can blow up this thing. Very nice. The Bulldog is a jack of all trades. Well, I don't even know if that's the case. You know? It's so weird, because, like, the Bulldog almost feels like it is trying really hard to be what the assault rifle used to be. The idea of this weapon that kind of encourages you to make use of the golden triangle, where it's like, the assault rifle is like, man, if we want to talk about weapon balancing, so this is, a lot of people want the assault rifle to just be this weapon that you can get kills at a range with. You know, people want it to be able to compete with the battle rifle, which, what I really liked about the old assault rifle is it was a weapon that had clear weaknesses. And it was a weapon as a starter that was kind of like really clever in that it kicks you off with the Halo routine of upgrading your arsenal. You spawn with a weapon that can get the job done, but it's got clear weaknesses beyond close range. If you want to get kills with it, you got to be able to melee, you got to be able to throw grenades and stuff while firing it. You've got the whole golden triangle. If you want to survive longer, you're going to have to upgrade your arsenal. Find something else. Find a battle rifle. Find a carbine, you know. And it just by the way that it's balanced, it encourages the player to start engaging with the greater sandbox. And that's kind of what I liked about the old assault rifle design, where the Bulldog now almost seems like it wants to be the old assault rifle, like this kind of weapon that's only really good at close range, and even then, you know? I don't know, it's just weird that it's like a pickup designed to encourage picking up other things, you know? I'm just not quite sure what the Bulldog wants. Yeah, I feel like some weapons being designed deliberately to not be useful in most situations is perfectly okay if it encourages a specific gameplay style from the player.
We're in range of Ignovis.
I don't really think that the assault rifle should be able to go toe-to-toe with the battle rifle. You know, if you picked up a battle rifle That should be
Dangerous
better
doesn't
than the
begin to
assault
describe
rifle.
this guy. Don't turn your back on him.
You know, and I feel like if you want to go toe-to-toe with a battle rifle, go find one yourself. That's kind of what assault rifle Slayer is for Halo. It's everyone starts off with these kind of like junky things past close range, and it kind of encourages everyone to make use of the sandbox. Where competitive BR Slayer is more like it cuts out that early game activity of upgrading your arsenal and just like, all right, you all started off with like, you know, you guys all start off with a good gun, you know? And I think part of what made AR Slayer fun is that, you know, everyone started off with kind of like these like crazy kind of junky weapons. And giving the assault rifle the ability to go toe-to-toe with a battle rifle, well, now it's more or less just battle rifle Slayer, but the fire rate is fully automatic, you know? So when people complain about Halo getting a lot more sweaty competitively, it's like, you know, I'm not going to say anything, but maybe we should consider if we want the assault rifle to be that good. Those are just my thoughts, and I'm sure somebody will be very upset that I said that. But hopefully I made sense.
Target eliminated. Now the crew.
And I'm sure there are some people that would argue that, like, the SMG could probably encourage that role. But I feel like so many people associate Halo with assault rifle starts. It's like, I feel like people would go bananas if, like, Halo Infinite had, you know, SMG starts in social. Yeah, I saw you up here hiding. Chris Pearl says, it looks good. I'm just not sure it's worth $80.
We're in range of
Is it
Ignotus
$80
the
where you are?
Devourer. So named because, well, he's a brute.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'd say the campaign is worth
Dangerous doesn't
$80.
begin to describe this guy. Don't turn your back on him.
Oh boy.
The Devourer is no more. And if his dossier is accurate, that's a very, very good thing. I'm grossed out just thinking about it. So I'm gonna stop thinking about it. Great work, Chief.
Why not banish the items, says Lewis. Take items known from previous Halo games and revamp them for the banished purposes. Example, take the shotgun as a sawed-off shotgun with blades. That could be kind of cool. Like banished versions of UNSC weapons. That's an interesting idea, actually. $80 in Canadian money. What would I guess be like the equivalent? Because, yeah, I guess I'm not quite sure if like if this is just like the proper price of a AAA video game. And it's like, you know, unfortunately I am in a position as a YouTuber where I could make back the cost of a video game by making a video on that game. But if you're, you know, not in that situation, where like, you know, $60 for what is essentially just the campaign and also co-op isn't a part of it, like, you're asking a bit much, you know? Especially since it's probably going to go on sale.
Distress signal. It's pretty close by.
When I first saw it, I thought the Mangler was the new one-hit shotgun, basically. I feel like some pro players would argue that's what it's become. It's kind of funny seeing the Mangler dominate discussion in Halo Online. Because the Mangler, I think, is actually a weapon that would be pretty solid as like a starting weapon. It's almost kind of like a spiritual revival of the Combat Evolved pistol. And in the hands of, like, pros, if you could all spawn with that, I could imagine it would be kind of interesting. The time to kill for a competitive match would be bananas if people could all spawn with the Mangler, but it would be an interesting experiment, I guess.
Reinforcements inbound.
Damn it. What was that? Hey, buddy, I'll take you, the spanker. Who took that out? That was a pretty good shot from the Marines.
Those Marines will live to fight another day. I hope we see them back in the fall.
Maddie says, been really enjoying your content late night in anticipation for Infinite. Thank you. I appreciate that, Maddie. I appreciate that you even just, like, enjoy the content. I've got some ideas for stuff. It's so tough, because, people are very sensitive about spoilers, to the point that, like, some people were mad that I even talked about gameplay in, my spoiler-free review. People are like, bro, why'd you spoil that there's no scarabs in the game? It's like, gameplay is now a spoiler topic? What do you want me to talk about? I played the game. The end. That was kind of an odd take that I saw from people. Because generally, if I do say, like, if I don't mention some things in a review, I'll get people very upset that it's like, why didn't you say that? Such a missed opportunity. It should have lowered your score. But then when I do say that, they're like, spoilers. You talked about a gameplay mechanic that was integral to your review. I wonder if it counts as a spoiler if I say that Halo Infinite has no Guitar Hero sequence. Because I'm technically spoiling that the game doesn't have that. Whoa, did you see that? That was weird. Let's go up this way. I really like the fusion coils in general. That's like a fun idea. Somebody at 343 had that bizarre idea of what if the player could pick up fusion coils and throw them around. And, that person deserves a raise, whoever that was, because that's like a really good idea. You know, Halo's just... What the hell? Did you see that?
UNSC distress
The
signal
Banished...
nearby, Chief.
What is
Mark
going
it
on?
first.
The Banished have cloaking technology. Hey, look! I guess with this glitch, we can get a good look at how the grass works. So it looks like the way that they're kind of like feigning grass movement is it looks like it's basically just stretching out the grass assets. It's not that they're actually waving in the wind, it's that they're being pulled away from a source that is casting wind. That's kind of interesting. That's interesting. How long do you think this is going to stay here? That's interesting. Look, the trail, the fire trail from the Phantoms actually casts a light. I feel almost like for performance reasons, that would be something that like a developer would shut off, you know? So that's interesting that that is actually left on. It does not appear to actually cast a light on the player, which is disappointing. Look, Chief doesn't have like a shadow stretching in that direction. Is it moving? No, it's not moving. It's just sitting there. Wait, what is that? Is that a baby Banished Phantom? Look at it. I think there's a Phantom in there. Can we get it out? Are there tiny, tiny brutes in there? I think there's tiny brutes in there. Hang on. I got a sticky. Okay. I gotta line this up. Damn it. Okay, I threw it right through. Damn it. Okay, it looks like it's transparent. Hang on.
Distress signal intercepted.
Damn it.
Squad's nearby.
I almost don't want to go save the Marines. You know? Because I'm scared if I leave this thing, it's going to despawn. This, like, bizarre entity. This is like some Twin Peaks shit. Okay, we're going to stay near this thing and, like, guard it from the Banished, I guess. Like, this weird temporal anomaly. Hey, Banished. Your buddies, they were oh my god, look. Aim assist. The aim assist is catching that mini Phantom. What is going on? I can't grab it with my grappling hook. Here, we're gonna run over this way, okay? We're gonna leave that thing alone for now. I'm gonna keep it in my line of sight. Okay, it's over there still. I wonder if there is I can still hear it. I wonder if there's a limit on how many Phantoms can be on the map at any given time. Because this is a defense sequence where you got to defend Marines, which probably means there's going to be Banished reinforcements. Yep. So a Phantom is on its way. Let's see if it makes this thing despawn. Maybe these poor Banished can be freed from their torment. This is so weird. I can still hear it, don't worry. I can still hear it over there whirring. Here, let's pick up a stalker rifle and then let's go near. I don't want to leave that thing alone, you know? The Banished... Craig's probably scared in that thing. You know? Like, Master Chief's scary. But, like, could you imagine a gigantic Master Chief? Let's jump up here. Let's see if we can defend the Marines from far away. Your friends are down here and they're very small. You should probably come get them.
I'm picking up a UNSC distress signal not far from this
This
location.
is so weird. I don't know what else we can do with this. If you guys have any ideas, can you get a splash damage kill on the Phantom? That's actually a good idea. Okay, don't worry. I can still hear it. All right, it's still there. Oh my god, a golden elite. Okay, hang on, we might be fucked. Nope, okay, we're good. God. I can't die here. I feel like we're about to lose that thing. Yes, okay, a weapon. That splash damage idea, that's good though. We're gonna revisit that. Okay, let's see if we can find a rocket.
Many on this ring, but now that you're back, they've got a fighting chance
We got
at survival.
this. We got I think I might have wasted the rockets. Damn it. Well, I don't think there's anything else we can do here. Can you stick a threat sensor? That's actually a solid idea. Okay. We can! Success! Whoever that was that just suggested that. Okay. So some of it. Oh! I think I'm damaging it. They can see it.
Firing on target.
Can we destroy it? Can we free them from their torment?
Pop 'em at range, Steve. You have
Guys, I think we're gonna free them. Look, see, it's smoking.
confirmed hit on enemy vehicle.
We did it! They're free! Oh my god. Oh my god, it's gotten bigger. Oh my god. This is like a Spider-Man 2 situation. It's fine. It'll stabilize. What have we done? I can still hear it. It's still alive.
Engaging.
It's smaller. Are you joking? Jaden says, I was stuck in the hacking room with no waypoints or any idea what I was supposed to do. Just referred to near the beginning of the stream for help. I'm glad that you were able to get through it, buddy.
Birthday driving.
I am so sorry if that sounded like not enthusiastic. We've got a problem. The fireball is getting bigger and it's smaller in there. Look, there it is. We gotta at the developers. Okay, somebody watching this stream is probably recording this, right? You have my full permission to turn this into a video, okay?
Nailed 'em. We've got extra eyes now.
Okay, hang on. I gotta go find some more ammo. I wonder how small it'll get. Okay, so we can harm it, and we can, You know what? Come here. This is actually one of the quickest ways to get your turrets where you want them to be.
Wow. Can't shoot or drive.
Okay, here we are. Craig! If you're in there! We're here to help! Okay, down. Shit, I missed. I can't even see if I'm getting a hit marker because it's so bright. Try the needler on it. Gavin says, just tuned in. What the fuck is this? Gavin, okay, so do you see that in there, Gavin? I'm not sure if the stream... Oh! I'm not sure if the stream is showing it off. There is a tiny phantom in there. We're seeing if we can free it. It's smoking. It's getting close. I think okay. Do you guys think it'll shrink more?
Yeah, see, I'm not sure if you're more ugly or stupid. I guess the answer's yes.
Oh boy. I'm getting nervous. That thing's making some... Is it smaller? She keeps pelting it with that shotgun, which I think is putting in some work. You know what? Okay, she's okay there. That thing is worrying me. Look how big it is. Let's see, because the Marines have unlimited ammo, right? I'm like really energized right now. Damn it! I should have kept that rocket launcher. Sniper. Sniper, we're in luck. We're gonna give it to her. Where's that Marine? Ma'am, I'm gonna need your help up here for scientific purposes. Maybe we can shrink it down to a subatomic level, and maybe we can, if not free Craig from his shrunken state, we can at least send Craig into the atomic realm.
Enemy vehicles incoming.
Oh, that thing's making scary noises. Oh my god. Hide! Whoa! We did it! Craig's free! Oh my god. She sacrificed herself to free Craig. What the hell? Where'd she go? What is good? Okay. Was she even real? Did I dream? I'm streaming this, right? Like, this isn't a weird fever dream. You guys saw what I saw too, right? Jesus, Craig. Well, I hope wherever Craig ended up, I hope he's okay. That is weird. Was she real? The woman who sacrificed her life to free Craig from his tiny, tiny torment? Christ. Dude, the stuff that happens in Halo, man, you know? Listen, my voice is cracking. I'm tearing up, you know? That was, you know? Halo's magical. I don't know how else to say it. Why don't we capture that fob, and then we will call it an evening? What do you think? That's what I'm thinking. I feel like that was, like, the emotional peak for the evening, you know? Even the music was briefly triumphant. Someone needs to get that to the devs. Oh, don't worry, Joseph. I already have ideas. I hope that you guys like silly videos. Especially my storytelling. Because I've already got something cooking in my brain. Look, there's some Craigs on patrol. Did you hear that, Brute? That's some like 6-year-old logic. Like having a sign outside that's like only brutes allowed. Okay, let's run this way. Honey, I shrunk the Phantom. Got a clip of history. This is Rising 00. Yeah, that was entertaining. I'm actually, you know, that is some of the fun of streaming. Is that if I were offline and I saw that, I honestly probably would have just moved on. You know, just like, oh, that's weird. This game's kind of unfinished. I'm glad I stayed. That was a story we formed, you know? Oh my god, I think one of the banished just stole my ghost. Yep. There's one of those phantoms. If any of you are playing Halo Infinite tonight, keep an eye out, you know, for any more Craigs. We know that they can be freed at least, which is nice. P-Shooter with a hat says, hey, Late Night Gaming, have you played the Bungie 30th anniversary event in Destiny 2? It has the Halo Battle Rifle and Magnum and some other cool things. I have not played it, but I have seen it. I have had very little time to play Destiny, unfortunately. Which does suck, because I would love to play Destiny, but you know. I got a beautiful someone that I spend a lot of my free time with.
Enemy reinforcements.
And I've got this YouTube channel. I haven't had a lot of time for games just in general. Which I guess it's kind of like a blessing that a lot of the games releasing this holiday seem kind of like trash. Minus Guardians of the Galaxy. That one actually seems to be good, and I'm bummed out that I don't have the time to play it.
Spartan on deck.
I am bummed, though, about Battlefield, because I am a big Battlefield fan, like, huge Battlefield fan. So the fact that Battlefield just, like, isn't good this year, I'm like, damn it. But the last one had problems, too.
Advancing. Okay.
Up there? Okay. Yeah, we can do that. And then we can call it quits. What do you guys think? Can you actually get inside of the Phantoms? I'm not sure. I assume so, right? Like the Halo 5 Phantoms, I think you can get into. Like when you spawn them in Forge, like they're actually 3D. Like you can move around inside of them. Like, here's another bizarre, odd bug. I think I mentioned it earlier in the stream. I'm not sure if I did, but these are supposed to be destroyed Phantom wrecks that are just like in, or not Phantom, jeez, I got Phantoms on the brain. Ghost wrecks. But for some reason, they look crystal clean. So I assume it's a bug, or maybe these are just supposed to be like ghosts, but for some reason they spawned in unusable states. I've seen a lot of these dotting the landscape. Let's run this way. Just a walk in the woods, you know? Halo Infinite is a pretty game when you're on foot. Like, look at this. This looks pretty, right? Look at the grass. Looking at, like, parts, it moves out of the way. It's pretty stuff. It's only once you see the draw distance. That's when things start to get a little bit mashed potato world.
Master Chief.
Let's run this way. Somebody's saying, I'm really hoping you turn your tiny Phantom into a documentary-type video like Cursed Halo, complete with over-dramatic voiceover. That is my plan. That is my plan. Because that was a fantastic little story that we just had.
We should claim that fob.
Human tradition, the pinata.
Those propaganda towers are pretty funny, but they are probably, I'd say, the weakest of the open world environments. Like the least natural, because even these fobs, they're pretty video gamey, but at least it's like, okay, all right, I get it. You know, it's a defensive point by the UNSC. And it's kind of like, it's a way for you to track your progress across the world. Like, you can spawn things there. There's at least a tangible reason for it to be. But those towers, I guess, destroying a tower that's spitting out jokes and then having, like, here you go, 10 points, that's probably the weakest part of the open world so far. Oh boy, alright, let's get out of here. Vanish will not letting me take this ghost without fight. Oh, okay, we are... Damn! How are you liking the game so far, says Wieldy Dread. I'm liking it, you know? I am liking it. It's extremely different from past Halo games, but there is a lot of fun to be had. And what is kind of nice is because of how different it is, I do think that there are a lot of things that can be added to the game post-launch that could only improve it. The campaign is a little bit more open-worldy and a lot less focused, I'd say, than previous Halo titles, just by the nature of its structure. But that lack of focus, you know, as games like Ghost Recon Wildlands have shown, like, you can launch kind of like this mediocre directionless thing. Not saying this game's mediocre, by the way. And you can add in so much stuff that purely based off the amount of content the game has, it's like, it's hard to trash it, you know? There's just a lot of stuff you can do. I like the game. Halo Infinite's really good. And it's a solid template for future add-ons to the campaign. A lot of stuff could be added into the open world via updates. Boom! Damn it. I was hoping that we could just plow into that chieftain. Oh boy. Let's... Jackal snipers are no joke here.
I will cut you down before this battle is done. I'll crack your bones.
Shut up, Craig. All right. Somebody's saying, what is your favorite enemy? In Halo? Maybe the grunts. But I really like the Halo Infinite brutes so far. These are probably one of my favorite brutes in the series.
Hit that terminal and we'll make it official.
Alrighty, FOB is ours.
FOB captured. One more foothold for the UNSC.
Oh, I hurt, guys.
According to
I hurt.
records,
I've been sitting in this
we're
chair
right
for
in the
quite a
middle of some
bit
of
of
their
time.
most active transport routes on the whole ring. These days, they mostly support Escherum's excavation efforts, but for most of the war, it was prisoner transport. Escherum's not going to be happy about losing it.
That was fantastic, though. That little bit that we saw. All right.
FOB signals coming in clear.
All right, let's get a nice view that we can say goodbye on. What is going on with my controller? Oh. I was like, oh no, a glitch, but no, it was just me. All right. Got our nice view of the ring. Like, this is all playable space, you know? Halo Infinite's pretty cool. Alrighty, guys. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I am running on empty, unfortunately. I think that miniature phantom that we saw was kind of like an emotional high for me that I am starting to come down from. Folks are talking about the monitor of the installation, the sub monitor. Yeah, that character is very cool. I like the sub monitor quite a bit, but I'm not going to talk too much about him. I hope you guys experience him for yourself. The sub monitor might be one of my favorite Halo characters. Alrighty, guys. I hope that you all had a good time, okay?